Man, boys, this is one of my favorite racetracks. I wish I was in one of them hot rods. Maybe one of them on the front row, Larry.
400 laps, 400 miles. Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin on the front row, and here we go.
See Denny spinning the tires on the inside. Talked about that preferred line. There it is. The outside, Chris Buescher.
Buescher hooks the bottom just like he did on his time trial laps, and he scoots away from Chase Elliott. Larson, Hamlin fighting for third.
Well, the good thing I see right there with Kyle Larson in the 5 car is that second groove he's able to maintain. Now Hamlin's going to take the position away on the backstretch, but he stayed door to door for about a lap and a half.
And that's what I wanted to see with this car. It doesn't have the side force that we had with the old car. On this speed, high bank corner like this, I wanted to see if these guys could run tight door to door, and you can. That 11 and the 5 was definitely door to door, very tight. Here in throttling, so you got to start out these runs with a free race car. You need to be free early so that thing doesn't build tight on the long run.
First side-by-side battle is for 12th place.
We talked about Kevin Harvick in that 4 car in the pre-race. Maybe this is a track he can stop some of the bleeding and end this long winless streak that's 53 races.
It's a great point, and you heard me talk about how you widen this racetrack out. He was my teammate, and every time he ran well and won those races, it was an outside line. Nobody can get that car rotated and back to the throttle, making these straightaways as long as possible better than the 4 car of Kevin Harvick.
Now you saw Denny Hamlin have difficulty at the green flag. Here's some audio from the 11 team.
I mean, did he jump? It was close, yeah, for sure.
Let's take another look at it.
Well, I can tell you didn't go.
Right.
Whether he jumped or not, everybody else around did. But that's a disadvantage. I'm telling you right now, second place on the bottom here, always harder. You're reacting to that leader. You can't go until you hear or see some sort of movement out of that leader. And trying to react, trying to time that right is so hard and tricky to do.
Kurt Busch had to start in the back. Something discovered this morning, Larry, that caused him to forfeit his spot.
Yeah, it was something in the steering, and of course this is an impound race, so that's considered an unapproved adjustment, which sent Kurt to the back of the field.
He's already up 7 spots from the back.
And William Byron, who went to a backup car, is up 4 spots from the tail end of the field. He got virtually no practice and no qualifying.
And that backup car was a parts car they've been hauling in the hauler since Fontana, California. They unload it every week and just do the updates to it.
Well, it worked.
What updates?
Whatever NASCAR hands them.
Austin Dillon backing up a bit. He is down 4 spots from where he started. Chris Buescher has the fastest lap of the race here in the early going after scoring his first career pole.
I knew, man, with the speed that he had, the momentum that he could carry through the middle of the corner, more importantly, just an awesome job for RFK and Chris Buescher. Always, in my opinion, underrated driver and always over-delivering in whatever car he's been in his whole career.
Jamie?
Chris told me what a big momentum boost it was getting that pole yesterday. A bunch of the crew guys were texting him. He said it was just so good for this organization. He also told me he went to work and did some research on the start of this race, and that 90% of the time if you take the outside, you lead that first lap. Well, his research paid off.
Well studied, yes.
It worked by about 3 car lengths.
Lapping is going to begin shortly here. There's Martin Truex pulling up on Ryan Preece, who had a great qualifying effort starting 13th for Rick Ware Racing, but Truex on the move.
And Mike, we talked to him in the pre-race, and he said he normally knows what his race car has in it at the start of the green flag, but what little bit of practice they got, he said, I really do not know where I stack up right now.
Does anyone? There was so little practice, and then of course two-lap qualifying sessions for the top 10, and that was it.
We're racers. We're race car drivers, man. We're a year removed from no practice. Nothing on Saturday.
Right.
Now we're complaining about practice. It's just practice, man.
So Josh Bilicki has gone a lap down. Remember, he had to go to a backup car after a practice crash. So in that untried backup.
See some debris on the front of the 9 car. Chase Elliott might hear some, might be backing up and maybe let the 11 car pass him to see if he can suck that off in his wake.
Now we know that's not tape on the grill because that's no longer allowed. So crew chief, that was one of your primary tuning tools for downforce. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we don't have any more tape on the nose, so that's gone away the way this cooling system is. And these cars no longer have the rear track bar, the rear panhard bar as far as adjustments. So a lot of the tools are gone out of adjustments we can make on a pit stop. Looks like Chase Elliott, he got the debris off that nose. So
Starting to already see that rubber building up on this racetrack. That's what's going to start separating these cars, right? Your handling starts coming into a play. If you're tight, you're going to get tighter in that. That rubber on the racetrack is slick, and whatever problem you're fighting in that race car, it's just going to be amplified.
Ricky Stenhouse, they're leading Justin Haley.
Waste is so big. That's it for.
what he was talking about is what his car is driving like behind that other car. He said the wake is so big, it seems like.
Chris Buescher has led all 17 laps, the first he's ever led at Dover, and his first laps led of the season. He won an Xfinity race here in 2015. .22 laps complete in Dover, and we have a new leader. Chris Buescher led the first 18 laps. Let's show you what happened for Denny Hamlin to take over the lead.
Well, right before the break, you heard Justin Haley talk about that, how concentrated the wake is behind him. Look at this. The 17 of Chris Buescher gets in the wake of Gilliland right in front of him. Woo! That took all the downforce off his car, got loose, had to bail out of the gas, and away goes Denny Hamlin. That fast, folks.
Kyle Larson has moved past Buescher into second. About 7/10 behind the leader, who now pulls up on Cody Ware.
And we talk about that wake, how concentrated it is behind these cars. That's where you see Denny being able to move around, maneuver his car. Yesterday's Xfinity race, you saw pretty much every pass run right up to the rear of the cars close enough. You didn't hit them per se, but you would take the air off of them and get loose, move them, if you will. Today, I think you're going to have to, because of that wake behind these cars, force yourself to get up high, get that car rotated, change your lineup.
Kevin Harvick in 12th against Austin Cindric, both running right about where they started. Joey Logano back in 24th. He has dropped 4 spots since the start of this race. We listened in.
Pretty tight to take off, though, as it gets starting to come to me. Bouncing into 3 pretty bad. And also free into 1/3, getting loose into 1/3 now.
Clint, we've heard you complain about those bumps getting to turn 3 since the first lap turn yesterday. But a classic case, if you started off tight, the car wasn't turning. As that rubber goes down you spoke about, it's just going to get tighter and tighter. You almost have to start the run a little bit free. Not loose, but just a little bit free.
But go back to your first comment. Just like we talked about yesterday, some of these cars in practice, as the air pressure come up, actually got away from the bottoming out. That bottoming out is the shock actually bottoming out on there. Some teams had it down pat, some teams didn't, but other teams, as that air pressure come up, that problem went away.
So a group of drivers 4th through 7th are running right in the positions they started, including Ryan Blaney in 5th. Let's take a ride with him.
First things first, you hear him lifting way early in the corner, picking the throttle up even before the apex, back to it, and then back out of it, then back to it. That's something that's pretty drastically different about getting around Dover on the bottom of the racetrack versus any other racetrack we go to. Being able to squirt that throttle a little bit, see, wait, back to it wide open.
Well, that second groove you asked for is forming up, and it's the lapped cars primarily that are doing it. They are staying high, allowing the lead lap cars to the bottom. And here Ricky Stenhouse and Kevin Harvick continue their battle for 12th.
Well, you see the rubber. We talked about the rubber building up on the racetrack. Where it builds up the most is that 5/8 to 3/4 mark. And when I was focusing on my balance of the race car and what I wanted to tell Larry Mack down on that box for an adjustment, it was all about that part of the racetrack. That's where these cars take that final load, really load the corner up because of the fact that you pick that throttle up early. Takes a big load on that exit of the corner, that 3/4 mark right in there. Navigating around that and having a free car with a turn on the throttle is where it's all at.
And when we're on a driver shot, you'll see that driver sink in the seat about 1 inch to 2 inches as he enters that banking. Teammates Martin Truex, Christopher Bell started 16th and 17th. They're each running 1 spot higher right here. Now Kyle Busch started 10th, and he has improved 2 spots since the start of this race.
Every time I touch one of the grinds in 3 and 4, right here, slides the nose, here. 43 down here, 6 shots.
Literally exactly what I was just telling you. That 5/8 to 3/4 mark. If it slides the nose there, buddy, I need some adjustments, Larry.
And how about our leader, Denny Hamlin? Jamie?
And the 11 group came to play this weekend, unloaded in the ballpark, and then during the quick practice session, Denny really moved around trying to find the best line on the track. I was told this is the happiest he's been with a race car since Vegas as the 5, his buddy, goes to the inside, tries to take the lead from him.
Yeah, I would say, Jamie, company is coming, but Kyle Larson, he led over 260 laps in this race a year ago, running exactly where he's running. He is running right at the bottom of the racetrack.
It's an art. It really is. If you run on that bottom of the racetrack, you back the corner up, discipline, big time. It's hard to not overdrive the corner running to the bottom, because if you overdrive it, you're going to land harder. It's going to get loose. The car will be out from underneath of you, and then squirting the throttle through the middle of that corner, that's just something that's drastically different. And you can afford, whoa, look at this. Very tight underneath Ty Dillon for the lead. That's going to give Larson a chance, but I think he's going to take the outside. Traffic is the name of the game of this place. Look at that.
Well, these drivers, they're lapping right now. They know within about 5 laps we've got that competition caution, so they are fighting trying to stay on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, you know the crew chief is on the box telling that spotter everything you can do, man. That leader's in your mirror. Make this car wide.
11th place now. Harvick is caught back up to Austin Cindric and makes the move to the outside.
Got in position.
Clear all around.
Great pass right there. Textbook.
There's your pole sitter, Chris Buescher. He is third ahead of Chase Elliott. B.J. McLeod to the bottom of the racetrack.
But you see Chase Elliott, he did not drive in the wake of Chris Buescher in front of him. Moved on even further on the outside. See all these guys, see that? Does not want to be in the wake. Need to get up there, try to get a run up high.
Kyle Busch has done something really interesting these last 2 laps as we approach the competition caution. He's gone way high on the racetrack at both ends, diamonding the track, searching for that high groove to see if it comes in. Now he's back to the bottom, but I think he found out what he was searching for.
Well, and you look where he's running right now. They're in the 9th position. Nobody really right in front of him, behind him, knowing the competition caution's coming. Search around. Try to find something now.
Daniel Suarez started 8th and slips to 11th as Harvick gets by.
You know, Larry, you told me before the race, be careful with these tires. That's why we have a competition caution. We want to make sure that our tires are good on a 40-lap run. Moving up high like that is a green racetrack in that gray. That'll wear them tires out really hard.
And we know a fuel run is twice the distance of this, essentially.
Exactly.
Denny Hamlin's putting some good cars a lap down. Here's Austin Dillon, and just ahead, Joey Logano. The caution flew right then.
Nice job, man. Great job.
And I believe Dillon may have been ahead of Hamlin and stayed on the lead lap, which means the free pass would either be Austin Dillon or Chase Briscoe.
Well, you said it, Mike. So many good names, big name drivers, fast race cars have been fast all year. Missed it. Looking for some big adjustments on this stop.
So this is the competition caution at lap 40 after several incidents in practice yesterday. NASCAR called for this, and Chase Briscoe is the free pass car. Austin Dillon by a foot stayed on the lead lap.
And Clint, we've seen that so many times here. As fast as they're running around this 1-mile racetrack, if you're off a little bit, they will lap you before you can blink an eye.
And there ain't nothing you can do about it. You're trying, you got to be patient, just stay disciplined in there, get everything you can out of traffic. That's where you got to optimize your time.
9 speeding penalties here last year.
Pit road will and can be a difference maker in a good way and in a bad way. And the problem is, Mike, we're going to have about 27 drivers on pit road for 4 tires and fuel on this stop.
Also making a lot of adjustments. That's going to shake things up a lot.
Regan Smith.
Mike, it's been a good start to the race for Kyle Larson. Crew Chief Cliff Daniels asked him how the car was. He said just a little bit too tight. Said, I don't want much of an adjustment because I don't think I need it right now. Jamie?
Chase Elliott pretty good. He said he has good maneuverability as he brings it into his pit box. The crew has been really good the last few weeks. They're going to do 4 tires here. The 11 at Denny Hamlin said just a little bit tight. He was trying to put as many cars a lap down there as he could. Pretty happy with his car. Just 4 tires there. And the 17 of Chris Buescher in the number 1 pit box. Little bit tight as you saw him fall back. Air pressure adjustment and 4 tires here for Chris Buescher.
Looks like most everyone took 4 tires. Ross Chastain picks up a couple of spots on pit road. Denny Hamlin, your leader in Dover.
Chase Briscoe will get the wave around, so he'll rejoin the lead lap after this first round of pit stops. It comes at lap 41 with Denny Hamlin first on the pit lane and first off the pit lane of Dover Motor Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Taking a look at the biggest movers there in that first 40-lap run, Kurt Busch was up 10 positions from the start.
Can you hear me? It's so loud. These next-gen cars are so loud and so hard It's okay. It's okay. I want her shirt. Look at this girl. Look at her shirt. Look how cool this is. Do I smell victory? Yes, ma'am. You do. What do you want to say? You got anything to say to all your adoring fans out there? This is fantastic. Hey, I got a little gift for you guys. Okay, you want this? It's a NASCAR radio-controlled race set. There was Victor Forrest with a dual pack. Look, you guys can grab it. Oh, now she's happy. Look at that. You can get it at Walmart or Walmart.com. Girls, enjoy. Have so much fun here at Dover Motor Speedway. Oh, look at her. Look at her. Now she's ready. Have a good time, guys. Thank you so much.
$5,000 up for grabs of Clint's cash playing Fox Bet Super 6. Scan the QR code, download the Super 6 app, enter your picks about today's race for your free chance at the jackpot. We're going to go green with A.J. Allmendinger in the back, speeding, exiting pit road, and for issues on Ryan Blaney's tire, I believe. One of the Penske cars had a tire that was pretty well corded. Regan?
Mike, that's exactly correct. The 12 car, as the caution was coming out, came on the radio, said, I think I have a flat tire. That tire was corded on the inside edge of the tire. A good break, that caution came out.
In the nick of time, Larry.
Yep. Well timed for Blaney, who will restart 6th. Denny Hamlin leads them back to green. Kyle Larson to the inside.
Denny carried him pretty deep into the Geico restart box, but Kyle Larson in that 5, he was ready for it.
Hamlin prevails, 3 wide in the back. Allmendinger trying to make up a lot of time after that speeding penalty. He's on the inside.
They got it sorted out, but that's tight racing quarters right there.
And here's 7th place. Suarez outside Kyle Busch.
These boys got an adjustment. They know what to expect on these restarts. Getting a little bit racier this time around, Larry.
Yeah, and it's amazing. We see this every time we come here. We saw how black the corners were turning with the rubber going down. Then when the caution comes out, those hot tires, they pick the rubber right back up. It takes it a few laps to get the rubber laid back down.
Watch this as he gets off into the corner. You can see the compression. Watch his head to the seat. Get in there, and that thing will literally force you back down in the seat. You get up out of the corner and raises you back up. A lot of G-force load here. Bouncy too, very rough getting into 3. You'll see that thing bouncing. Look at the 18 in front of him swirling around in those are the bumps that everybody had trouble with yesterday in practice.
And Clint, we did a little research from right here, turning off the wall on the straightaway down to where the car loads. It's about 15 feet elevation change, equivalent to 2 stories from the top of the straightaway down to the bottom of the corner.
Well, I can tell you about 160, 70 mile an hour, however fast you go off in the corner, you feel it, and it gets your attention. There's no feeling like getting around this place.
So, Larry, I've always wondered, when something happens like the corded tire on Ryan Blaney's car, how does that information filter up and down pit road to the other crew chiefs, and what do you do with it?
Oh, I can promise you, it spread faster than if we were sitting in a beauty parlor. I can promise you, everybody knows exactly what went on right there. And there, you know, the problem is, Mike, they couldn't make an adjustment really based on that. Now they know we got to be prepared to make an adjustment.
That's a great point, and that's how you get behind. You know, he radioed in, maybe have a flat tire or something. So as a crew chief, do I double down and go more on an adjustment, or do I have to wait and see what I have in store? And as soon as he saw that tire, he was like, uh-oh, I wish I'd have went more.
All right, Bubba Wallace was top 10 right up till the pit stop. Now he's 12th.
Get a deep breath, get back in rhythm. Gotta go on restart. You can't wait on. You're fine, you're fine. 75 laps. Pressure's gonna come to you. Just wait.
I'd say he's loose, hanging on that restart. It's a valid point. You have to be able to be free. We saw it. Look at Chris Buescher. Started too tight, fell off a little bit. Boy, I didn't like that right there. Did you hear that, Larry?
Yeah, and it's like walking a tightrope here. Short run speed versus long run speed. But I promise you, whoever wins this race, they will have both.
Eric Almirola up 5 spots since the restart. And now, Larry, the info you talked about is beginning to be communicated to the drivers. Kyle Larson was just told on the radio, your right sides that we took off, we're fine. No worries.
But that was 40 laps, Mike. We've got to go about 75 laps to the end of this stage right here. What I'm also telling my driver, if you feel something, you let me know.
Immediately. But look at this rubber. You don't have to look any further than the rubber getting put down on that racetrack. With every lap down, that'll help those tires as well.
The top 6 running right where they restarted, including Chase Elliott in 5th.
You know, I think I could use this off to get a run on a guy in the right traffic scenario. 2, I just can't quite get to striking distance because of that second compression just a little further out than what I feel like I need to be to strike.
That's the second compression. He called it. It's that 3/4, 5/8 mark somewhere over there. Because of this track and the banking in it and the ability to pick up the throttle that much earlier, it really loads that car for a second time. And if that thing doesn't turn, you're in big trouble. That's a hard thing to adjust.
Even the straightaways are banked 9 degrees here.
It doesn't look like 24 degrees, but I guarantee you, Clint, it probably feels like it, doesn't it?
This is a track where you balance your car a lot with the throttle. I want you to listen to his throttle going through the corner. Watch the bumps here getting into 3. Let me tell you why those cars have been fast all year. Did you see how smooth that was compared to some of the other guys you saw getting off into 3? Pretty good handling hot rod for Ross Chastain.
59 laps complete. Chris Buescher led the first 18. Denny Hamlin took the lead and has led the most recent 40 laps. 65 laps complete in Dover. Denny Hamlin is your leader by 2.5 seconds over Kyle Larson. There's a look at it. Now, when we were here last year, Hendrick Motorsports scored a 1-4 sweep of the top finishing positions in all of NASCAR history. That had only happened 3 times prior. Roush Fenway Racing and Pete DiPaolo, which was then the Ford factory team, did it twice in 56 and 57. So Hendrick right now with Larson second, Elliott fifth, Bowman eighth, and William Byron in a backup car up to 21st.
And Mike, those 4 drivers led all but 18 of 400 laps in that race a year ago.
Caution. Uh-oh.
Mother Nature's made
Don't
her
say
appearance. Let's check with Jamie Little on our leader.
Yeah, there's just a few raindrops out here, nothing major at all as we bring out the caution here for the second time today. But Denny Hamlin pretty happy with his car now, and he's led 50 laps today. That is more laps led than the rest of the season combined. So a good day for Denny Hamlin, but I wanted to update the tire situation. His tires look good in that competition caution, but Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, told me he is concerned about this 80-lap run here, but he was hoping they'd get more rubber in, and that would help the tire wear.
So we're under caution for a light sprinkle here in Dover, Delaware. Denny Hamlin leading Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain after 68 laps. That's a Ford Mach 1 Mustang in front of the field. The lights are out and we are ready to go back to green. Caution began at lap 67. It will end at lap 83. And look at this Monday crowd.
Darn right. Everybody stayed watching some racing on a Monday.
So the Drydene 400 is back under green. Single file through the first 3 spots. The fight is for 4th. And Denny Hamlin on the outside making some noise.
And again, that's one of those drivers that elected to get 4 fresh tires under that caution yesterday. But no surprise when right now, when I look at the top 7, Gibbs, Hendrick Motorsports.
Right now on a green racetrack, looks to me like it's pretty much a fight for the bottom. As you see, everybody's trying to follow suit, and we already talked about it, trying to take care of these tires too. Need to get down there, get in some of that rubber. Anything you're up there on that gray track on the outside, it's going to be scrubbing a lot of tire off in his short run.
And Clint, I don't think Denny Hamlin has to worry about his tires. I think he can run them just as hard as he wants, knowing it's only going to be a 37-lap run to the end of the stage.
And also, it's no surprise that he's doing the passes up there. He was one of the ones that came in and pitted. He's on fresh tires.
Kyle Busch also in the high groove slips back a bit. And he's under fire from Eric Almirola.
Oh, got to spin into the wall. I think it's Brad. No,
Austin Cindric, and another one between 3 and 4. Locking up the brakes to avoid what was ahead. Todd Gilliland crashes and spins down to the track apron.
That turn 3 has given Todd Gilliland fits all weekend long. Just like in practice, one spun and then here comes another one. It's almost as if you first think, man, there must be something on the racetrack. Practice, it was a reaction. William Byron spun out right behind him.
Yeah, we saw Tyler Reddick become the second guy in practice that did that.
Pits are closed here.
See their damage on the right rear.
Third caution of the race.
Yeah, he was already way high up out of the groove, but look how dirty the racetrack is up there. Saw him starting to slide.
Now we're going to ride along with Ryan Blaney.
Semi-2 in front of this 2-wide. Pinning up top.
I can tell you how Gilliland spun out off the front bumper of the 12 car. Unfortunately, just checked up. Ryan couldn't couldn't get checked up in time and got into the back of him, spun him out.
Pit road will be open this time, Larry.
Yeah, we only ran 3 green laps. I just feel like if you're one of those drivers up front, your bed is kind of made. You don't give it up now because, again, we're going to go back racing. There's going to be less than 30 laps to the end of this stage.
Worked out well for the drivers who took the wave around on the last caution. And looks like Cole Custer will get the free pass on this caution flag. We'll step away for just a moment. Racing on Monday at Dover, Delaware. Now Dover Motor Speedway under the Speedway Motorsports umbrella. I guess they had a lot of part. Let's check with Jamie.
Austin Cindric, as you guys saw, he said, I just killed the right front, so he brought it down. He said the steering is off to the right. They just looked at it and said it's towed in 2 inches on the right front. They're going to attempt to fix this and get him back out on the track.
They're having to make the same adjustment that Ryan Blaney, his teammate, made, but they're doing it for a particular reason because of hitting the wall.
Yeah, you always hear a toe adjustment, thinking of an impact like you hear with Austin Cindric. Never just an ill-handling race car and cording a tire. That was the first for me.
Larson and Elliott on older tires. Hamlin with those new tires. Here we go.
Tell you what, that's a good jump for Chase Elliott on the inside, door to door.
A lot better than the last restart.
Absolutely. Going to the lead, going to take it. That's how you do it, boys. Rewind, look at this.
Chris Buescher, our pole sitter, battling Ross Chastain for 8th.
Clear, unit 31.
Love those in car audio where you can hear that thing, throttling and pedaling it through the corners to keep the car underneath of him. All three of those guys, Chastain, Harvick, and now Haley, all pedaling in the corner. Tells me they're probably a little bit loose right now.
Yeah, Haley in the 31, they went with 2 tires on that pit stop yesterday. Kevin Harvick in that 4. They were flirting with the top 10, but they elected to pit and get 4 tires.
Kyle Busch loses that spot to Ross Chastain.
Clear.
Kyle has never lost a cup race that ended on his birthday, which is today.
Wow.
He's 2 for 2.
That's a Super 6 pick if I've ever heard one.
Riding with Ross Chastain, we just observed you never have to worry is he giving you 100%, especially on the restart. He'll get all he can and get it in a hurry.
100%. Starting to see some rubber put down on this racetrack already. Just a handful of laps.
Ryan Preece up 6 spots since the restart as he battles Daniel Suarez for 17th.
Ryan Preece making his
got on the
first
apron
of 2 starts this year in the Cup Series in his 15 car.
I saw him dip down to get his left sides on the apron. Really upset that car. Easy to do.
2nd place. Those newer tires of Hamlin going to work, but Larson on the outside.
Saw them two at dinner together last night, probably arguing over who the bill right now. That's what you're seeing side by side.
AJ Allmendinger got up to the wall. Did he get into it?
Yes, he did. You saw the flames come out of his pipes. Got pushed pretty high by Eric Jones, too. He knew it. He was in trouble, lifted out of the gas. Wasn't enough.
20 laps to go in stage 1. Denny Hamlin up to 2nd place, Jamie.
And he has had a rocket all weekend long. Denny Hamlin, we talked to him yesterday when the rain came. It's the happiest he has been with a race car since Vegas. Very optimistic about today. And his crew chief, Chris Gabehart, told me this is going to be a different style of race today with the sun ready to come out. It's going to be warmer. It's humid. Whoever keeps up with the track the best will win this race, and they're confident.
You're right, Jamie. The clouds are starting to break up here over the Speedway. Still a lot of overcast off to the west. We're going to take you back side by side with Chase Elliott leading at lap 101. Well, you saw it. Denny Hamlin got right to the bumper of Chase Elliott, but is unable to get up and alongside. What's going to make this a difficult pass?
Yeah, catching him one thing, passing him is another, and that's what he's having trouble doing. He's trying to get to his outside, but it looks like he's not able to enter high. He probably a little bit loose. He enters low and is trying to get the pass down on the exit. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to have to figure out how to enter high, get the car rotated, and pass him. Or wait for what you see right there coming, a lapper. Try to get it done and use a lapper as a pick.
Going around B.J. McLeod. Austin Cindric's team made repairs, sent him back on the racetrack, but the clock had expired on NASCAR's damaged vehicle policy, and he's been ordered to the garage.
Yeah, you have 6 minutes to get back up to minimum speed. They never got that.
Christopher Bell, one of the 7 drivers that stayed out and did not pit under that rain caution. Now, one of those was Ryan Blaney, who did pit twice. So 6 of the 7 stayed out, and they're all running 12th or better on worn tires.
He's back. Cooled his tire and finally got to the inside. Now he's going to make a pass, but I'm telling you, he'll have to shut it off. If the 9 can stay on his door on the exit, he'll still have trouble. And there it is.
These two finished 1-2 here in 2018. Elliott was the winner.
When you run the bottom like that, if you don't get him cleared by right there, you're in trouble. He's clear up now. But if he can hang on your door, you need that real estate to move up the track. And if it's not there, that car's on your outside. You got to lift out of the gas and you'll stay side by side. Frustrating.
And for 4th place with 8 laps to go in stage 1, here was the battle.
Yeah, Kyle Larson in the 5. He's going to end up losing 2 spots here to Chastain and Truex.
The old twofer. Chastain caught him door to door and went to the inside. Look at this. Look at the run he had.
Ross Chastain, now in 4th place, is the highest driver in the field who came and got tires.
And I think that's what you saw too, tires, right? Gave him an opportunity to enter high, get that thing rotated, made that straightaway as long as possible. In other words, got to the throttle way before they did and made a pass 3 wide.
Says can't stop us now. Is that the name of Pitbull's tour, or is that Ross Chastain's new motto, or both?
I think it's Jackhouse's new model for sure.
Well, let's check out our Subway right combination. The one team, Ross Chastain, is crew chief Phil Surgeon. Their 2nd season together, the first at Trackhouse Racing. The first 10 races, 2 wins, 6 top 5s. Prior to this year, neither Ross or Phil had ever won a cup race or made the playoffs. Now they've accomplished both. Ross has 125 Cup Series starts, but he made his very first start here in the spring of 17. Maybe the Subway right combination to get win number 3 of the 2022 season.
Pretty incredible what that team has done in such a short time of becoming a 2-car team. 4 to go in stage 1. We resumed racing at lap 84 this afternoon. Denny only led 49 laps this season. Going into yesterday, he's now led 60 laps in this race over the 2 days. Hamlin by 2.5. Elliott with almost a second on Christopher Bell. And Alex Bowman, last year's winner here, poised to get the last points paying spot when this stage ends in another 2 laps.
I mean, it's going to be too little too late, but the fastest car on the track, we just talked about it. Ross Chastain in that 1 car back there in 4th, about 3.5, 3 3/4 seconds behind leader Denny Hamlin.
Brad Keselowski wants one of those stage points. Keselowski now to 10th. Final lap, stage 1.
Rain checker just stopped. Going down to nature. Nice work.
Denny Hamlin, second stage win this season and the fourth of his career at Dover. As Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports take 7 of the top 10 spots, led by Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin with 10 with that coming across the line first. Chase Elliott 9, Christopher Bell 8, Ross Chastain 7, and Martin Truex Jr. 6.
5 points going to Kyle Larson, 4 points to William Byron, 3 stage points to Chris Buescher, 2 to Kyle Busch, and 1 to Brad Keselowski. And race fans, turn your attention down trackside as we have some of our crew throwing t-shirts and launching t-shirts up in the stands, so wave your arms if you want to get a t-shirt.
Our Dover Motor Speedway crew is doing a good job of filling in today for the Dover Lottery.
The Advance My Track Challenge is back. Visit AdvanceMyTrack.com. Vote for your favorite NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series track. Each vote enters you for a chance to win weekly prizes. End of stage 1, and for 5 of the 6 drivers who stayed out and did not take that set of tires earlier, they all ended up earning stage points, and even Eric Almirola, who was 15th, picked up 5 spots from where he would have been at the time of that caution. Pit road open, Regan Smith.
Mike Kyle Larson in the 5 car, very tight as that run went on, especially as the rubber went onto the racetrack. Look for them to make a significant adjustment to try and stay ahead of the track. And Ross Chastain in the 1 car needs more front turn. Can't afford to have the back unhooked anymore, though. Jamie?
Christopher Bell in the 20 was a little free in practice. They tightened him up, and now it's getting free again as they continue to run. The 9, Chase Elliott, fired off good. Overall, though, feels a lot like it did yesterday. 4 tire stop here. Denny Hamlin's team just blistering pit stops lately. A 4 tire stop there. The car's good was freeing up as they went.
Here's your Ram race off pit road. Oh, whoa.
Got a tire racing Denny Hamlin. There's a penalty.
Not sure whose. But that's a getaway.
Never a good sign when you look over and a tire's passing you on pit road.
Well, that was a tire that was intended on going on, and there you see the 11 car. Knew it was a brand new tire that had a sticker on it.
Jack Man. Well, I can promise you this. I was going to dial him up for a stage win. I am not dialing him up now. Never a good sign when your tire passes you. Too bad. Costly mistake.
And Larry, that's pretty much the most major of penalties you can have on pit road.
Pretty much 4 weeks for crew chief and tire changer and tire carrier.
gets checked out, heads back with all 4 tires on, and look who's going to be shown as the race leader.
Problems on the pit lane that will turn the lead over to Ross Chastain.
Code out there on the big screen. Last call for skee ball. It's going to be starting very shortly, so make sure you go.
Is that the story or the changer?
It's man's key to go.
Let's review what happened on Denny Hamlin's stop to the left front.
Yeah, watch that Jack guy right there. Obviously, the changer's changing the tire. You see the left front come off. Watch the Jack guy hang the tire back here on the back, hangs the tire, glances up. It's his call. When he drops that car, it's Denny's cue to take off and blow out of the pits. He didn't really see that left front tire changer, whether or not that wheel was on or not. Drop the Jack, Denny takes off, no lug nut on it.
The wheel is on, the lug nut is not, and behind him is Joey Logano's pit, and Jamie Little told us that the nut came out of the socket and ended up in the 22 pit.
So lug nut came out of his gun, and he did not know it until it was too late, obviously. So it's what it is. Had a good first stage, got a great car, plenty of time to get it back. P29 here, 30 on the lead lap.
Yes.
Jamie.
Well, you just heard it there, just trying to stay optimistic. They know how fast this race car is, and now they got a lot of things to think about, penalties coming in the next couple of weeks.
Well, based on average 4-tire stop times this year, number 11 crew still leads the league.
Well, go back to last year's car. You had 5 lug nuts. The 5 lug nuts would come off. You had 5 new ones that were glued to the wheel that went on. And we know there were times when they didn't get all of them tight. We only have 1 lug nut, 1 center wheel lock per wheel, and you reuse the same wheel lock, the same lug nut. There's a magnet and kind of a grommet inside that socket that holds it, but sometimes it comes out. That's exactly what happened with that 11 car. Well, let's go to our Ford Performance cutaway car to show the single lug wheel lock. Again, if you go back to last year, we had a steel wheel. This year it's aluminum. And the biggest difference is the fact that we have, of course, you've got a lower profile tire, you've got a 3-inch bigger rim, but the biggest difference is certainly the number of lug nuts. You had 5 per wheel last year, you only have 1 this year, and you're reusing the same wheel lock, the same lug nut.
And that's why, obviously, you have them coming completely off. I mean, that lug nut just simply wasn't there. He knew it. He saw. He tried to signal Denny not to go, but it was too late. Things happen fast. That shows you how fast those pit stops are, especially on an 11. Nobody does it faster than them boys.
So Hamlin will restart 29th. Ross Chastain, coming off a win with Christopher Bell on the inside, will be the front row. Truex and Elliott, Buescher and Byron, Kyle Busch and Larson, Keselowski and Bowman are the top 10 as they approach the Geico restart zone to begin stage 2. Truex to second. And Buescher, crossover move. Watch that blue car gunning for third. Ty Dillon got the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. And pole sitter Chris Buescher, watch the 17 here.
Good move.
Kyle Busch to the outside of Bell now for 5th place. And trouble for Bell. Off pace into the corner.
Which side, do you know? Left side, I think. I think it's left rear.
They're flat.
Just do 4, guys. Just do 4.
Right before that caution, we had all 4 Gibbs cars up inside the top 6 or 7. Now 2 having issues, Bell and Hamlin.
I don't know if he had a flat. You think it was a loose wheel?
He was feeling something, and we are hearing it a loose wheel.
Speed is important on pit stops. Accuracy more so.
Now that's the other side of a loose wheel, that, or the conversation we were just having with the 11. That's the other side that just doesn't happen very often. To get away with a loose wheel, usually 90% of the time this year, that's been a tire off the vehicle and a 4-week suspension.
So we begin stage 2 with Chase Elliott here in 4th place. Jamie.
Well, Mike, we've talked a lot about tire wear. This came off the right front of Chase Elliott's car after that stop, and you see the cording on the inside. And he told the team he felt like the camber was off. Something was off, and all they did was make a wedge adjustment. So we'll keep an eye on the right front for the next round.
That'll get better. You knew on a green racetrack after a rain delay like that, this track is hard on tires anyway. But as we keep burning rubber into this track lap after lap, that wear will get better.
Denny Hamlin up 5 spots from the restart.
But that camber makes me nervous, Mike. This is a 1-mile racetrack. You spend about 3/4 of the time in the corners with that right front loaded. And that camber, they put more negative. They lean it toward the inside on the right front to get the full footprint of the tire on the racetrack when it's in the corner. Makes me a little bit nervous.
Sure, even the straightaways here are banked 9 degrees. So. Ross Chastain has led the last 12 laps.
Sun all the way out, you know, staying on that for a second about the camber, about the tire wear. Sun being down on this racetrack is going to be heating up. It's going to get slicker. It's going to wear tires more.
Ross Chastain, we talked about he and his crew chief Phil Surgeon. His crew had an 11.4 pit stop that got him the lead.
When things are going your way, they just keep you. There's momentum there for that one team. All right, we're 16 laps into stage 2 with Ross Chastain leading Martin Truex by about half a second. 143 laps complete at Dover. Ross Chastain leading. Here's how the Coca-Cola family of drivers are faring, with Suarez in 13th. Denny Hamlin on the way back to the front in 22nd. Joey Logano, all the Penske cars have had issues today. He is 25th. Austin Dillon 28th. And the sun has broken through, and the whole track is in bright sunlight now.
And Mike, this has not changed at this 1 mile racetrack. This is the most fickle track we go to as far as how weather affects the surface. And Clint said it earlier, these crew chiefs, they have to stay on top of that. Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns about this next gen car here, but it's still the same 1 mile concrete surface, and you have to rely on your past experience.
You literally have to tell yourself that in the car, Larry. When you're out there, and 9 times out of 10 this time of year up here in this area, you're just going to have some cloud cover, right? I can't tell you how many times I've been making laps around this place and everything's fine. You're like, what the heck just happened, man? I just got loose all of a sudden. Dawns on you. Yep. We're in cloud cover.
Chris Buescher having a career day. Earned his first pole ever in the Cup Series this weekend. Led early the first 18 laps of the race. And now here's Chase Elliott. Now we saw that tire, right front tire, and Kyle Larson's been told his tire looks just the same as Chase. But why is that cording, Clint, occurring way over on the shoulder of the tire and not up on the tread?
Well, first things first, it's camber. Camber speed, camber's turn in a race car. You need camber in those things. These things like camber, but it's on the brink of disaster. You too much, that tire will cord like we're seeing and give yourself, a chance at maybe blowing out a tire or something like that, not making the end of this deal. But the short sidewall on these tires, I think, has a more flat tire patch on it. And when you run camber with these cars like that, with that shorter sidewall, there's not as much flex, and it leans harder on the shoulder.
Birthday boy Kyle Busch in 5th place, Jamie.
Well, Mike, as you know, when we report on tire wear or excessive tire wear, everybody takes note. Kyle Busch's radio moments after we reported the 9 issue.
Not really left front up, just falls more on the right front than what the 924 do behind us. And that's kind of where it seems like it starts grinding through the right front. So I don't know if you see that in pictures or not, but that's just, I'm nitpicking, I know, but simple. Yeah, I know why. Okay, as long as it makes sense to you, I'm just going off 5-ball.
And that's actually spotter Tony Hirschman giving Ben Bayshore some information that he's seeing from the spotter stand.
Spotter can do so much more than just to clear inside or outside and what's around you. A good spotter today's day and age sees everything on pit road, everywhere, gets that information back to the crew chief as soon as possible.
William Byron 6th in a backup car. Got no practice, no qualifying. Came out here, worked his way to the front by staying out under caution when most everybody pitted, but he has stayed right there in the top half dozen. Brad Keselowski, he and Chris Buescher having a great day for RFK. 3rd and 8th right now.
They need a good day. I mean, Brad Keselowski had a great run going last week at Talladega, but mistakes. Speeding on pit road early during a green flag stop. He overcame that. He got the free pass, but then late in the race, speeding again under green, you're not going to overcome that.
Absolutely. Starting to see some speed out of RFK, getting things sorted out. Race cars, you see Chris Buescher on the pole this weekend, prime example, but now you got to clean up the mistakes. You're so spot on, Larry.
Kevin Harvick was happy when we talked to him in pre-race yesterday. Multiple winner here at Dover. Has hung around the top 10 pretty much all day. 9th place right now.
Likes this place. I remember in the first few years of my career racing alongside him in the RCR days, didn't like the place. And then years later at SHR, found some speed here, found success winning here a few times. And lo and behold, the next few competition meetings, my man was liking the place.
Ricky Stenhouse rounding out the top 10. He and his car owner Tad Geschichter visited a sustainable farm sampling Frobert. What's Frobert? And sorbet. Frobert, I guess is that frozen yogurt and sherbet combined? I'm not sure. Sounds like it is. Let's go with
it. Sounds great.
Caution, 5-car Larson around backwards on the front straightaway.
Get it fired back up here. Did we hit hard? No, we didn't hit hard, but we blew a tire.
He was 7th, and that's the 5th caution flag.
Right rear's down. Did he blow a right rear? Was that the cause of it? Man, what a save. Barely into the wall with the right rear. Both right side tires are down. Don't do the damage to this. Slow down a little bit.
And Clint, that was only 27 laps. 27 laps on those tires.
See what happened. Yeah, he's already sideways. Sliding through the corner. Is the right rear down? I don't think so. I think he just got loose and lost it. I think the tires blew as he was sliding with the wheels locked up. Great save. You don't see that very often at this racetrack, the self-cleaning with the banking on the corners.
Right here, you get sideways and that track just narrows right up, and it's hard not to hit anything.
Pretty early in the corner. Usually because of the speed and you coming up out of that corner, you spin. He was way early in the corner, almost in the middle of the corner when that thing started to get sideways and get out from underneath of him. See the tires blow out right there, sliding right front first and the right rear. They'll get that thing fixed up, get him an adjustment back in the game. Uh-oh.
That's
what I was
up. Yep.
Afraid of.
Larry, still 94 laps to go in this stage.
I mean, that's doable on fuel, Mike. I just don't know if it's doable on tires. And these teams are to the point where they only have 5 to 6 sets of stickers to go, and we got well over 200 laps to go in this race. But I think you've got to come get tires.
Check that out, Larry. That's the first time I've seen that. Actually had a device built to get this car up so the jack man could get underneath of it. You always see guys trying to lift the car up because they can't get the jack under it. Cars are very low to the ground. That's pretty cool.
Teams figure it out.
Yeah.
They always do.
Well, it's an adaptation of the quick jack that's used in road racing to lift the rear of the car. That's well
Sounds good. I'm in. It worked. I can promise you that.
Yeah, honestly, in the perfect world, we would have stayed green there for a little bit, and these teams could go to about lap 185 or 89, come and get 4 tires to make it to the end. But this caution really doesn't come at a great time for anybody.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. What do you do now?
I think you've got to come, Clint. I mean, we're seeing
If you're
these
the 11
tires.
car and you're already down a set of tires to get your competition, what do you do?
Well, if you blow a tire, then you don't. It doesn't matter how many sets of tires you got left.
Well, I don't want to blow it later either, though.
No.
Make sure you clean these mistakes up. Seeing lug nut problems on pit road. Is this a product of Monday?
Little hangover?
Something.
No, I was
Seeing
asking
some
you.
mistakes.
Hey, we're in the Palmetto State this weekend. They have palm trees there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Darlington, throwback weekend coming up.
I mean, honestly, guys, this is one of those situations. I don't want to get too far out in front of our skis. If they've got them, I wish NASCAR would release at least 1 set of tires, an additional set of tires to these race teams.
Well, it's definitely got these teams scratching their head and it backs up against the wall. You keep having cautions like you just saw, an untimely caution. This thing heats up in a big way. You're going to have to save a set. Some of them are going to have to make a set up.
Now, you used to be able to kind of trade tires between teams. Let's say a team that's laps down or a team that's fallen out of the race, but those days are over.
Those days, every team on pit road had the option to have 9 sets of tires for the race, including your qualifiers. So 8 sets of stickers, 1 set of scuffs, and you have to start the race on one of those. But yeah, you cannot go buy additional tires.
And pit road remains closed.
Yeah, I'm seeing basically every team on pit road with tires ready for a pit stop. I think you've got to worry about how many tires you've got left later. You've got to come get them right now.
Yeah, you got to get to later first, right?
That's it.
We'll worry about that later.
.91 laps to go in the stage, 241 to go in the race. Watch the car control by Kyle Larson as he locks it up, scrubs off speed, down goes 1 tire. Here comes the wall, so I'm going to gas it and stay away from that. That was Jimmy Johnson-like right there. Let's go back to 2006.
The best save I've ever seen in my life. I'll never forget this to the day I die. Spins, we hear everybody's down on pit road during qualifying. Seems coming at you. Spinning once, spinning twice, spinning 3 times. Look how he's throttling it back up. Wait a minute, throttle back up. Unbelievable save.
His teammate Jeff Gordon approved of it, that's for sure.
Well, he was paying for half the damage, too.
Awesome save.
It was.
Pit road's open, and here they all come. Regan.
Mike, your leader, Ross Chastain, giving very good detailed information about his race car. It's tight, but after about 20 laps, the rear starts to slide. He said he can manage that slide, wants a little bit of help with the Titan. William Byron, snug in traffic, but too loose in clean air. Tough thing to fix there. Jamie?
Chase Elliott was told what happened to his teammate, and he said, well, I can go faster, but I'll shred the tires. They said, don't do that. Just continue doing what you're doing. It'll be 4 tires here for him. The 17 as well, land a little loose. Wants to get it tightened back up, so he's happy with it. And Martin Truex Jr. now, they're all saying they can make it to the end of this stage after the stop. Happy with the last changes for the 19.
Boy, that's going to be hard to race to a pace. And wow, Truex just about swept the nose off the number 9 coming off pit road. You want to see it again? Because that was the all-time save at Dover. Jimmy Johnson in qualifying.
Hey, just Dover, buddy. Anywhere, any racetrack, any situation I've ever seen.
And the crowd went wild.
Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Really focusing on something there. Doesn't look like they're going to change that tire, so I don't know what it is with that. But what's going on up underneath the fender well? Suarez heads out.
Getting ready to restart here in Dover. Chris Buescher with a pit stop issue. You see a tire bounce and start to get away, but they caught it and saved him a penalty, but he dropped from 3rd to 7th on that stop. Daniel Suarez came in and made a 2nd stop. There's that bouncer. Couldn't quite catch it.
Missed it.
Good one.
Good save.
Good save. So Ross Chastain, Martin Truex, Chevy Toyota on the front row, Haley and Elliott, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Buescher, Byron, Harvick, Stenhouse the top 10. Harrison Burton the free pass gives us 29 cars on the lead lap as we go back to green.
Mike, for the 2nd time, Trent Owens, the crew chief for Justin Haley, in that 31 right side tires only, gained a lot of track position on that stop.
Well, earlier we saw cars that stayed out and did not take any tires prevail and do very well. So this 2-tire stop by Haley's crew could prove to be a good call.
And Mike, you asked me during break, would you have stayed out right there? It's not like we were closing in on the end of a stage. We've got almost 90 laps to go before this stage end. You had to come right there.
Harvick moving on Buescher for 7.
Tires looking any better?
Ours have been fine, but we haven't run very long. You know, all of them have been pretty short.
That's experience talking right there. That's nothing more than that. What's them tires look like?
That was his way of saying, can I run it harder?
Exactly.
You've never told a driver, look, everything looks fine. Just keep digging, have you?
That's it.
Don't be worrying about them tires.
14th for Denny Hamlin with this pass on A.J. Allmendinger. Kurt Busch looking on, and Tyler Reddick moving up.
I mean, I know the further up front he goes, the harder it gets, but Denny Hamlin's going to be in good shape. He's got a fast enough race car, and we still got over half the race to go.
There's Brad Keselowski in 4th, right behind Truex, having one of his better runs of the season.
I don't know what that tow did to the 12 car, but him back up in the top 12 after that adjustment, big time rebound for Ryan Blaney.
Teammate Austin Cindric is in the garage after a crash and unable to make repairs in time, while Joey Logano has been at the tail end of the lead lap most all day. Regan?
Mike, we talk about the big adjustments that Ryan Blaney and that race team made. So far, that race car is a lot better for him right now. Just a little bit of a four-wheel slide. I did take a look at the tires that came off that car. They look much better. No porting anymore.
Martin Truex to 2nd around Haley, who we remind you took just 2 tires, but is still in a great position. They gained a lot of spots.
You know, back to Regan's report, obviously the adjustment, I think the adjustment plus rubber going on the racetrack both have made a difference in that 12 car.
Corey LaJoie battling Cole Custer, who got the free pass 2 cautions ago. That's back at 23rd spot.
And just behind them, you see the 5 car trying to get back up through the field. Hasn't been able to make much ground up. I don't know if he's still fighting an ill-handling race car. Kind of the same boat for the 20, the 20 of Bell as well.
And Kyle Larson is 1 lap down.
And his lap times are not very impressive. He ran like a 24:13. Our leaders right now are running mid-23s.
Dragging that car with those 2 flat tires, you think it may have hurt something under the underbelly?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It could hurt suspension. It could hurt something like the rear diffuser or anything back there.
How about that hood flap? Does that hurt it much?
It doesn't help it, you know, that's for sure. That's definitely an aero disadvantage.
This fight is for the free pass position.
Well, you know they're going to be fighting hard. Very important, especially if you have some car problems, some aero problems already. You need to fight hard to try to stay on that lead lap. You go a lap down, might not be able to get it back.
They go past Austin Dillon, who is on the lead lap. Now, one of Clint's questions has to do with the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who is currently in 13th. Which driver will have the most laps led at the end of stage 2? Hamlin's led 67 so far. There are still 75 to go in the stage.
I think this one's going to hurt some fans this year. You know, having the right answer on that one, picking that right choice, going to be interesting.
And Ross Chastain is not one of the choices.
I think I would have made the wrong choice there is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, he is, Chastain is most likely to, as he's led 48 laps so far.
Had a random fan this week ask me about Chastain and Trackhouse Racing. Can they compete for a championship at the end of this year? My answer's starting to change, boys. I'm telling you, they're answering the call on every single racetrack. You have to be able to be diverse all the way through the field. Road courses, they've been fast. Short tracks, they've been fast. Intermediate tracks, they've been fast. Here's Dover, kind of its own style of concrete racetrack. Back fast again.
That orange dot keeps getting bigger and bigger in that rearview mirror of that one car, Martin Truex Jr.
Nonetheless, that conversation of being a championship contender, I think, is heating up. They are proving they are here to stay.
B.J. McLeod just came slowly down pit road and took his number 78 to the garage, joining Austin Cindric as the two cars out of the race. William Byron, I'll tell you, for a backup car, he is wheeling it.
Pretty stout.
And Alex Bowman back up into the top 10, last year's winner when Hendrick Motorsports swept the top 4 spots.
With this new car moving to a backup car, let's talk about that for a second. You literally don't even have to have this thing on scales anymore. Those things are set up. You can set that car up with those 4 shocks and springs being coilovers, bolt them on, go to the racetrack, all off of a simulation program.
It's all scienced out before you leave the race.
That's right.
Race shop.
No more testing, limited practice, and great potential cost savings to these teams.
Just hope that computer don't have a virus this weekend.
181 complete. Ross Chastain leading Martin Truex by half a second in the Drydene 400. .187 laps complete. Martin Truex drifted back a half a second behind Ross Chastain and then made a charge and got side by side. Spinner back straight away. Kurt Busch.
Down against the wall.
6th caution of the race. At lap 189.
To the inside wall.
Kurt was 15th. And let's have a look at what happened in turn 2. Oops.
Got some help off of Allmendinger got him loose, got up into the wall, heavy
But I think
damage.
Kurt was in trouble before Allmendinger actually got into him.
Well, he had to lift. For those
Yeah.
cars racing in front of him, got probably aero tight, lifted a little bit. Allmendinger got in the back of him, spun him out.
All right, we'll use our Monster Energy cam and ride along.
Right on the bottom with you.
Got tight in the wake of both of those cars door to door.
Outside, inside.
All right, let's take this all the way back to start finish.
Yeah, you see him get tight there, had to lift out of the gas. Unfortunately, tried to hold his line. I'm not going to pin that on Allmendinger. His fault. He was trying to hold his line, protect his position, and unfortunately got turned around. Tell you one thing I did see with his orange visor as he hit the wall, he closed his eyes. And I always wondered if I did the same thing. I thought I did, but you never get to see that video at in-car. I don't blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to see that either.
Well, I didn't want to see that caution right there because this is getting to be quite the pickle on these sets of tires. We ran 25 laps right then.
It's a great point.
Yeah. We still got a half a race to go.
Watch Kurt's eyes here, Clint.
Right here. That inside wall, so many times, you know, like Larson spinning on the front stretch, sometimes you see guys get away with it, but that outside, or excuse me, on the back straightaway, for whatever reason, you lose it back there, it's like a magnet into the inside wall.
So Kyle Larson did win the battle with Christopher Bell for the free pass. Larson will be back on the lead lap.
You know,
Chastain the leader, Truex, Kyle Busch, and Justin Haley did a great job on those two fresh tires.
Yeah, that was a big gain. Honestly, I'm going to stay out right here. I just don't, but here they all come. I mean, they're all coming. Well, we got a few staying out. We got Haley that stayed out. Alex Bowman stayed out.
Because of that two-tire call, right? I think he was forced to maybe do that.
Well, Ross Chastain in the one car, no decision to make there. They wanted to pit. Trying to get more turn in that race car still. He said it wasn't any better this run than the previous run. Jamie?
And Chase Elliott, they're going to make another adjustment to help the wear on the right front. They're going to add some air there, pump it up a little bit. The 19 of Martin Truex Jr. and happy with the car. He said he just can't make the pass up front. He said he can't go high. There's no grip up there yet. And Kyle Busch asked about the tire situations that I feel like we're short. As you saw right there, no tires for Kyle Busch.
So looks like 8 drivers stay out here at the front of the pack after Kurt Busch gets into the outside and inside wall.
Alex Bowman stays out. He'll go to position number 2. So did A.J. Allmendinger. He stays out. Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace did as well. Lap 191 on the board. We are 9 laps from halfway. From Dover Motor Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Take one more look at that contact down there in the turn. Again, that off turn 2, once you get going down the banking, there's just no place to go down. Damage done from the contact, I believe. They were on that left rear side, back into the car.
Where that contact happened is where we've been historically told by drivers that it's the lightest place on the track, where the car feels the lightest. Just the slightest little that you go around coming off.
Kurt Busch is back on pit road after that spin on turn 2. Crew attending to that
USFL continues Friday. Philadelphia against Michigan, 10 Eastern on FS1. Then Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox, the Tampa Bay Bandits take on the undefeated Birmingham Stallions. Skip Holtz's squad moved to 3-0 this weekend. They're the only unbeaten team in the league. Larry Mack, you might well know it would be Birmingham.
And they're playing at home. That's the way it's supposed to be, undefeated.
Now, part-time folks, a lot of them couldn't come on Monday to help out here, so look at this morning's ticket taker, Marcus Smith, the CEO of Speedway Motorsports, new owners of the track. He flew a squad of people up from their home base in Charlotte to Mike Tatoyan was checking passes here, the track president, at the VIP elevator, and everybody pitches in on a Monday.
How awesome is that? Good on you, Marcus Smith.
Justin Haley outside Alex Bowman, A.J. Allmendinger behind on the outside, and then Tyler Reddick. 4 wide, turn 2, my goodness.
Kyle Busch at 18, he's trying to make some hay with those 4 fresh tires. Get it while you can here.
He sure is. Making more moves in 3 and 4.
Chase Elliott's picked up 4 spots already. Car in the wall, turn 1. Limping along, yellow car to the outside. And caution waves. Joey Logano has had a tough day. Let's go back to that 4 wide battle in turn number 2. Boy, restarts here are exciting.
Yeah, right away jumps to the outside 3.
And remember, he was the first driver on 4 fresh tires.
Yeah.
And watch for Joey Logano.
Oh,
whoa, he had a lot of help.
Lane change on the 43 caused that. Pretty hard contact as well.
Kurt Busch had a great view of that one. And that will put Christopher Bell back on the lead lap. He will get the free pass on this, the 7th caution of the race.
And Mike and Clint, those drivers that stayed out on those 25, 26 lap tires, these cautions are their best friend. running at 35, 40 miles per hour, logging some laps, it's a good thing for them.
Now still 53 laps to go here in stage 2. Jamie.
And Joey Logano, yes, he's had his hands full all weekend long. They took huge swings yesterday, and you could tell this morning he just wasn't sure what they would have. He was mired back there in the traffic. You saw he had help. Now, they were on their 1 scuff set that they are required to run or have in the pits. So now they'll have to put another set of sticker tires on this go-around.
See the damage to the right rear and the right rear wheel well here.
Probably checking that toe link. Getting a plan to maybe replace it.
Justin Haley carrying our Drive for Autism cameras this weekend. The Indiana driver moves up full-time. The Cup in 2022. He's won in all 3 of NASCAR's National Series. Todd Braun, former car owner here. Close relative. And he's the 2016, what was the K&N East Series champion.
You're starting to see and I know it's early to start talking about this, but the playoff picture. Thought about it when I saw Kurt Busch in the wall. Looked over, you know, he was right outside of the playoffs in 18th place. Now he's mired back, obviously, and you look at Justin Haley entering into that picture in the conversation, just what, 20-some points out. So a good run here today. Some good calls on strategy, getting this track position, 2 tire calls. It's going to get you into that playoff picture in a hurry.
Haley 18th in the standings as of this moment, needing about 20 points to break into the top 16.
That's how you do it, Mike.
Yep.
Lead laps, win stages, run them down.
No, guys, Justin Haley, he was for the most part running the full Cup schedule last year. He could not run this race. He had to be replaced by Josh Berry because he was out because of COVID protocol.
Now Christopher Bell back on pit road working the right rear hub and making sure they get a good fit of that wheel up against the hub before sending home the center lock nut to retain it.
Yeah, when they had that loose wheel, you've got all those drive pins that's on the hub, and you've got the drive pin holes, and it could have boogered some of those holes up, and that's maybe what they're working on.
A lot of talk about tires, including in Chase Elliott's camp.
How many sets of tires you got left?
All tires included, we need about 40, 44 set, 44 laps a set. That's including the scuff. There's a few in worse shape than us.
It's a valid question, Chase.
Well, Kyle Busch has made 5 stops for 4 tires, started the race on 1. That means they've got 3 sets left for that 18 car.
And 201 laps to go, 200 this time, halfway in this 400-mile race. It'll be Justin Haley outside A.J. Allmendinger on the green. Bowman and Reddick, Wallace and Kyle Busch, Suarez, Byron Elliott, Chastain, your top 10. Here we go. Larson 3 wide, and he is making time on the outside.
He sure did. 3 wide, 2 rows, past 2 rows, whole complete rows, 4 cars in 1 corner. Pretty cool. Trying the outside of Keselowski now off of 4. Pretty bold move there.
Contact. Chris Buescher getting into it there outside turn 2.
Blaney moved. 42 of Dillon. Didn't like that.
Buescher made contact with Ty Dillon, and then Ty had difficulty getting through 3 and 4 after that. Fourth place. So Larry, what do you do when you run out of tires?
Yeah, I mean, what Alan Gustafson showed Chase Elliott, they've almost factored it into how many laps they need to run per set, 40 to 45 laps. But Jamie, how about Tyler Reddick in that 8?
Yeah, they got themselves that much needed track position. They stayed out that last time around. He's 4th right now, but he has a damaged car. He wrecked twice in practice and hit the wall earlier in this race. That toe is off a little bit. They're holding a nice wheel right now.
No, one thing, this is probably the first weekend I've noticed this. The guy, talking about a diffuser in the rear of these cars, you can't get up like you used to and just take the air off of them and make them loose. Those things stay stuck to the ground as you approach that car. I just watched Truex try it on Chastain, and I've seen several others. For whatever reason, this new Cup car with that diffuser on the back of it, it doesn't mind if a car's right on their tail or not. Still have the grip. Saw it time and time again watching that Xfinity race with you, Larry, on Saturday. Those boys were able to get to the rear bumper. Didn't have to hit them, but they could take the air off of their car and make them loose and make a pass. Get underneath of them.
Alex Bowman closing on the leader as Kyle Busch goes after Tyler Reddick, takes 4th, and now he wants 3rd from Allmendinger.
Kyle Busch, about 30 lap pressure tires, 25 to 30 lap pressure tires in all these drivers he's racing around right now.
You hear Allmendinger, though, that's a great run for Kaulig Racing. Both of those cars running up front and having some speed.
Chase Elliott grabs a spot on Reddick. Elliott up to 4th. And further back, 9th place.
We are actually seeing about a 3rd groove now, way off the bottom of the racetrack, about a groove off the top.
Chase Elliott's taken 4th.
Watching Justin Haley and that 2-tire stop prevail here, leading these laps. Is your mind starting to change? If I need some track position, Chastain, Truex are back there mired in this traffic, can't make very many passes, having trouble. Are we going to take some 2 tires later?
Yeah, the left sides are not giving a problem, and I think track position is king for sure.
Alex Bowman for the lead. Justin Haley's led more laps today than in his whole Cup career combined. Bowman to the front, last year's winner. Both those drivers just ran their fastest lap of the race during this run about 8 laps ago. Martin Truex to the top on Ross Chastain.
They've been going at it for about 5 or 6 laps now, side by side, going back and forth.
And Kyle Busch is coming all the way to the front.
Sure has.
The entire top 10, 3 Toyotas, 7 Chevrolets. The best Ford right now, Harvick in 13th, as Denny Hamlin is 1 spot away from the top 10 now. Watch how Kyle Busch took the lead, powering off that corner.
Yeah, you could see Justin Haley's front end wasn't pointed right. He was waiting on the throttle, Kyle Busch's was, and he was back to the throttle wide open, got Haley in one corner, went down to the next end and got Bowman.
These are the first laps Busch has led today, as Hamlin motors on past Bubba Wallace and into the top 10. That's a pretty amazing stat right there. When it's Kyle's birthday, he wins. Now, this race didn't start on May 2nd, but it's going to end there. And Kyle trying to go 3 for 3, lighting the candles and cashing the big check.
The other 2 drivers to do it, Matt Kenseth and Cale Yarborough, won Cup races on their birthday.
That's such a Kyle Busch thing to do. Didn't rely on anybody else to give him a birthday present. He just gave himself one.
Thirteenth place. Ricky Stenhouse passing Kevin Harvick, who is still the highest Ford, but is 14th now. Martin Truex 3 wide back straightaway with Tyler Reddick and Kurt Busch.
I have to believe Tyler Reddick is pretty happy with this run. We talked to him down on the pre-race stage yesterday before our pre-race show, and he says, I have no idea. We are lost. So obviously the adjustments they've made on this car, they've got to be pretty pleased to be inside the top 10.
8th right now, 4.5 back of the lead. Sixth place now, as Martin Truex continues his march back to the front.
I'm telling you, Truex, the 18 of Kyle Busch, these Gibbs boys come to play today, Monday. They're ready.
Well, anytime Martin Truex Jr. comes to Dover and he comes to play, 3 wins. His last 5 races here, 4 top 2 finishes.
Here are your Toyota top performers. Kyle Busch, the leader. He's led 9 laps now. Truex in 5th, Hamlin in 9th, Bubba Wallace 11th, and Christopher Bell 23rd. Denny Hamlin passes Ross Chastain, moves up to 8th place. Larry, those Toyotas are marching forward like they've got 20 sets of tires.
And you know, Mike, I said earlier this week, I felt like the month of May, we raced 5 times, including the All-Star race. It's going to tell us where all of these organizations and the manufacturers truly stack up at all these different types of tracks.
Teammates racing for 2nd, those Hendrick Camaros. Chase Elliott up to 2nd. 2 seconds back of the lead. 28 laps to go in stage 2 as we take you Fox side by side. .172 laps to go in Dover. 22 to go in stage 2. Boy, Joey Logano has had a tough day of it as leader Kyle Busch steams on by. Logano going 2 laps down after getting up and into the wall off of Eric Jones.
Just a tough weekend for Team Penske. Austin Cindric already out of the race. Ryan Blaney, some adjustments. He's made it back to the top 15, sitting in 15th right now in the 12 car. You're riding with him here.
Tyler Reddick sitting now in 15th place.
Yeah, get ready. I think I caught in my right front. We're ready.
I saw it shoot way high in 3 and 4 the lap right before we heard that radio communication. As soon as that thing starts to unravel, much like you saw in the 12 car of Blaney, you can actually not only feel it, you can hear it.
He had dropped 10 spots since the last restart and has now given up 4 more.
And I know what they'd love to do. They'd love to try to make it these next 19 laps. It's not going to go 19
That's
laps.
exactly what he's trying to do, is nurse it along to get to the end of this thing, and I agree. I think he's off the pace a lot now. He's going to be pitting. I'd say it's starting to come apart.
Ryan Preece there having a strong day. for Rick Ware Racing. Running just 2 Cup races this year, kind of a smorgasbord of a schedule with some Xfinity and some Cup races and
just
truck
like
races too.
Starting to come apart. You can see it all over the door, unraveling, just like what we saw with the 12. Yep.
Well, good call by Reddick.
Yeah.
Good call on pitch.
So
You
he'll
don't
end
want to
up,
make that call. I don't want to bring it down. I know I'm going to go laps down. It's just an unfortunate situation. You have to do the right thing.
I can guarantee you crew chiefs are looking at that scoreboard. How many laps do we have to go? Because they just saw that happen with that 8 car in that right front.
16 to go. Remember, Justin Haley took those 2 tires and restarted first. He is now 16th. He is backed off the pace quite a bit. His lap times right now about 0.6 of a second slower than the leaders. Jamie?
And Alex Bowman, the 48, running fifth right now. He last pitted on lap 160. I just watched his entire crew look up at that board and see the right front coming apart on the 8. Definitely concerned, definitely hopeful they'll make it to the end. But meanwhile, that 48 getting much better. Exit is much better for him. He's just taking care of it.
There's
another one.
There's another one at Ty Dillon.
And that's another of the drivers that stayed out under that caution back at lap 189.
You called it, Larry. We knew after seeing what Blaney, we knew that it was going to be an issue, that the teams were going to have trouble getting these things down. Then the cautions start coming out, forcing you to stay out, pushing these tires longer and harder. Now, one at home might say, all right, well, why is that thing coming apart? Trust me, folks, I would much rather have a tire do that than blow out and be in the wall.
Yeah. So the drivers who stayed out already, we've seen trouble with Haley, Bowman, and Reddick, and Ty Dillon. There's also Allmendinger, who stayed out then. Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, and Daniel Suarez also stayed out at that caution.
I guarantee you the radio's lit up. Old Larry Mack on the box telling me, hey, boy, nurse that thing along. Do not lean on that right front.
The other
take care of it.
The other driver who might be concerned is William Byron. He took only 2 tires on that caution.
But the good news, 2 right side tires. But those drivers that's not pitted since lap 160 roughly, Mike, now they're getting to into the neighborhood of almost 70 laps on those tires. Green flag laps.
Well, they got to make it 10 more to get to the end of the stage. A.J. Allmendinger was last in the pits, as you mentioned, 78 laps ago.
I mean, I am absolutely out of fire. I just managed it. Hang on here.
Just about out of tire.
Yeah. Can you hold your breath for 9 more laps?
I can.
Well, you're on the pit box, sure.
You can't with that tire coming apart inside of it. I can promise you that.
On the front, just hang on. Caution's out. Caution's out.
Denny Hamlin and Cody Ware.
Man, day went from bad to worse for Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin was the 4th place car. Cody Ware 3 laps down.
Get it rolling right there. It ripped the.
And Cody Ware spun coming off turn number 4 and just collected Hamlin. Look at the damage to the right side on the 11th.
Oh, 51 loses it, overcorrected, got in a wall right in front of the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
Oh. Well, that's at 9 degrees of banking. You knew that 51 car is going to go from the top to the bottom.
Just barely clipped Denny in the rear.
Hamlin's day started out with trouble when the center lock nut fell out of the socket on his first pit stop on the left front. And he had rebounded very nicely up to 4th place. But it looks like a can opener has been after that number 11.
You know, that's the damage I see, though, and Bear Bond, that'll take care of that right there. Still going to have a lot of work to do in a short time to get back up there.
And that's what you saw in the hand of that crew member. Mistakes seem to just be time and time again with the 11. You know, even when they have a fast car, pit road speeding penalty, you know, everything has plagued the 11 car this season. Thank gosh for their win they have in Richmond.
Now Hamlin is still on the lead lap. His spotter Chris Lambert told him to go low, thought he could get through there before Cody Ware's spinning car got down to the bottom of the racetrack. Nine-degree banking on the straightaways, 24 in the corners. Everything goes to the inside wall eventually.
Yeah, I know we're closing in on the end of this stage. We basically got 26 drivers on the lead lap. I think you come here because I don't think you're going to be able to hold off fresh tires, even with Kyle Busch that's got that many laps. And then, of course, you would stay out at the end of the stage. We may see a split decision, but I think you'll see most of them coming.
So you want to come now?
Absolutely.
He wants to get those tires off that car is what he wants to do.
I want to be able to breathe.
Regan?
Mike, it was a quick decision for the one car to pit here. They said we want to get the tires now. Continues to lack rear grip with that car as the day goes on and the sun stays out. Gets worse and worse in terms of the rear grip right now for Ross Chastain. Jamie?
And the 9 of Chase Elliott, they were feeling pretty good there. Felt like he was really reeling in Kyle Busch. They're pitting for their tires once again. The 48, Alex Bowman just got too loose. He had those old tires. Happy to get some fresh sticker tires here. Kyle Busch wants a little more right rear grip, a 4th tire change here. And the 19, his teammate, followed suit. It'll be 4 tires, no adjustments for Truex.
Thanks, Jamie. Now the remaining Penske cars stayed out. Ryan Blaney and the Wood Brothers car with Harrison Burton. Truex gains a spot. Elliott drops 1. Stenhouse, Jones, and Buescher +2. Kyle Busch in front of a cluster of cars.
There's a lug nut on the racetrack. You see the lug nut rolling off? Maybe it was just got one replaced, but there's definitely was a lug nut rolled off. How do you fix that, Larry?
Well, again, lots of Bear Bond. You can't put any steel panels or anything. You have to use tape or Bear Bond. Definitely a center wheel lock, a center lug nut laying there on the track.
Sunday on FS1, it's Throwback Week at the track Too Tough to Tame, where they've been racing since 1949. Memory Lane has no speed limit in the Goodyear 400 at Darlington. 2 o'clock Eastern Time on FS1 on the Fox Sports app. Our coverage begins. And it'll be an all Hall of Fame booth, except for Clint and me, of course. The King, Richard Petty in stage 1. Bobby Labonte be with us for stage 2. And $1 Million Bill. Bill Elliott won the Winston Million at Darlington years back, and he'll be with us on stage 3.
Man, even the King's cartoon hero shot looks better than mine. Like, how do you look any cooler than the King?
Now that was his driver's suit. It was kind of a denim look. It had bell-bottom flares at the bottom. I mean, he was styling.
Yeah, he was. He always is.
That's right.
You know when he walks in the room, it's such a cool feeling. Can't wait to get there and have all 3 of theirs perspective of that race, that historic race in Darlington. It's going to be cool to be able to have those guys with us.
Eric Jones, 9th place right now, was in that skirmish with Joey Logano earlier. And there is Denny Hamlin, I would guess, awaiting further repair next time around. Didn't want to lose a lap. He is still on the lead lap.
Well, and if he meets minimum speed when we go back racing, he'll be off the DVP clock and all will be good.
Damaged vehicle policy, 5 men over the wall, 6 minutes to make repairs and get back up to minimum speed. They're still working on Cody Ware's car, who triggered that by spinning off turn number 4. And where did that center lock nut come from? Or where will it go? Oops.
Ooh. I think it Was it Haley that went under? I didn't see it come out either.
Or did it hit Cole Custer's car? We'll double check.
This is a tough repair.
Yeah.
Larry, those guys are, you can see that those body panels are literally just gone, and bare bond is the only thing you can do. You're gonna have to maybe come back in again.
Well, we're going to go back racing with 3 to go. Let's set the stage up there. You got Ryan Blaney and Harrison Burton. They're on 40-something lap tires up there. Even with just 3 to go, I don't have a good feeling about that.
Going to try to make it for 3 laps to the end of stage 2. The stage 2 winner has won 3 of the last 5 Dover races.
Look for Kyle Busch to be 3 wide, getting in 1 and 2 here. It's going to happen fast. There he goes.
Same thing he did earlier on a restart.
Two to go in stage 2.
Very close quarters off of 4 with Chase Elliott. Had to get out of the gas.
3 cars want the lead. Blaney trying to hang on against Kyle Busch and Martin Truex.
Hanging tough on them old tires, I'm here to tell you.
I'm impressed.
Oh,
I'm
really
impressed.
loose, getting into 3.
So it won't be Truex who will win stage 2. 1 to go.
I think he does it. I was worried. I said if he could get through 1 and 2, I was thinking he'd be fine. I think he wins the stage.
Blaney hanging tough, trying to hug that white line
loose
on the bottom.
Well, then Kyle got loose.
Got loose, no run here.
No run. Ryan Blaney gets his 4th stage win of the year, most of all drivers.
As soon as he got loose, I don't know what it did to the air behind him. It's like it, disrupted the air behind him because Kyle Busch got loose right in his wake.
Team Penske's Ryan Blaney leads them all to the green and white checkered flag for stage 2.
For the 9th time, this for the conclusion of stage number 2.
Recap of the points from stage 2. Ryan Blaney with 10, Kyle Busch with 9. Alex Bowman gets 8, Mark Truex Jr. 7, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 6.
Getting 5 points is Ross Chastain. Eric Jones comes across, gets 4 points. Harrison Burton 3. Chris Buescher 2, and Chase Elliott hangs in there and gets 1 stage point.
And race fans, be alert, as we've got t-shirts coming your way once again here as part of the Delaware Lottery t-shirt toss. Keep your eyes peeled down along the front straightaway.
Needing a set of tires, but who else is?
Welcome back to NASCAR Cup Racing from Dover on FS1, presented by Brestree. At the flag, Harrison Burton, who restarted on the front row, ended up 8th, though still a net gain for him. Nice finish in that stage for Ricky Stenhouse, 5th. Eric Jones, 7th. Chase Elliott got the final stage point, but those 4 stage wins this year are one reason Ryan Blaney sits 2nd in the points right now to Chase Elliott. Regan?
Well, what a day it's been for Ryan Blaney. He starts today on pit road fixing that race car. Now gets that stage win. Race car right now is not too bad for him. It's continued to get better. They lacked front turn earlier, but better as they go right now. Gonna put scuff tires on. These are the tires that they qualified on. They're gonna use these up now, so they've got 2 sets of stickers left later.
So everyone except Blaney and Harrison Burton had just been on pit road. And Denny Hamlin getting off pit road after making further repair to that right side. And Hamlin still on the lead lap. Tyler Reddick will get the free pass on this caution. Austin Dillon the caution before. So both the Childress cars will be back on the lead lap. Except the hood is up on Dillon's number 3.
Let's talk to that stage winner. Ryan Blaney, how about you? It's Boyer up in the booth. You got us?
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Holy cow, awesome job holding on to that stage. Car looked a little loose, them old tires, but you did a whale of a job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was a handful. I'm not gonna lie to you. And, so yeah, it was nice to get that stage win. You know, big reason for staying out. If we wasn't on the stage, you kind of feel bad. So hopefully we can work our way back to the field. I think we got a decent Menards, Ford Mustang. Just got to keep digging.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank y'all.
Ryan Blaney, after pitting, will restart 21st. Ryan Blaney, 2nd in the point standings, our stage 2 winner.
Regathering down the back straightaway. His car nice and easy, and go back with Motor Racing Network for their coverage. Getting NASCAR up on a little break right down. We saw someone in the stands taking a little break. There he is.
They got rained on, they came back for Monday. Nice Monday crowd on hand here at Dover Motor Speedway. 145 laps to go to see who wins the Drydene 400. Kyle Busch, the leader. Alex Bowman, Martin Truex, Ricky Stenhouse, Ross Chastain. There is the running order 28 cars on the lead lap, including Tyler Reddick, who just got the free pass. Larry, what's the tire situation, especially for our leaders here?
Yeah, we've got some that have 3 sets. Kyle Busch, Jamie Little was just telling me he has 2 sets of stickers and 1 set of scuffs. And again, we've got basically 140 plus laps to go. So that means you really need to go about 60 to 70 laps per run. But you have to figure your strategy with not having cautions. I think the chance of not having cautions is pretty slim.
Interesting top 10 for the restart. Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Truex, Stenhouse now 4th. Chastain, Eric Jones, pole sitter Chris Buescher, point leader Chase Elliott, Eric Almirola, and Kevin Harvick. 3 Fords, 2 Toyotas, 5 Chevrolets in the top 10 as we get ready to restart. It'll be 143 laps to go as they hit the Geico restart zone. Fourth place. Chastain slides up on Martin Truex.
Sure
and
did.
back down. They have spent a lot of time in close company today, these two.
You know, Mike, earlier as we were getting those cautions, we had a lot of different strategies. For the most part, everybody's on equal tires right now. 4 fresh tires essentially.
Kyle Larson's crawling himself back up into the top 10. I was thinking some of that damage was going to prevent him from getting back into this thing, but I'm telling you, starting a couple more adjustments, fix some more damage on these cautions. Next thing you know, you're back in the game.
And Clint, it's not like he's down a bunch of set of tires, because a couple of those stops, they did not change tires. So it's not like he's at a huge disadvantage.
Turn 2. Blaney got into the back of Cole Custer and almost sent him to Smyrna.
Well, Custer got in there a little hot and had to chase it up the hill right in front of Blaney. Blaney didn't like it.
Through in line, just 1 inside. Still 1 inside. Just that 99 down there. Inside. They're high.
Well, you know, Clint, the first bump is I'm here. The second bump is move over.
Yeah, I don't think Cole Custer, he didn't mean to do that, but it just, the situation got worse for him. Finally, Blaney had enough and moved him out of the way. There's a crossover, a lot of crossovers, and people are getting runs off that high line in turn 2, getting a good crossover and making a pass on the bottom, getting established where in the position you want to be for 3 and 4.
Daniel Suarez coming back on Blaney on the outside, and they're double wide just in front of these two as well. Reddick and Briscoe. This all happening at 22nd. Let's get back up front. Kyle Busch leading Alex Bowman by just about half a second, Jamie.
And Alex Bowman, defending race winner here at Dover. After that last stop, he came on the radio and said, I've got a vibration. It's small, but it's in the seat and it's in the car. They watched the video back. His crew chief, Greg Ives, came off the box, looked at the video and said, we're pretty confident. Wheels are tight, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Usually those vibrations don't get better, but it can. If that tire's a little bit out of balance or something like that, you don't have that very often anymore with these, but if that is a scenario, it might just hold that vibration all the time. But if it's a loose lug nut or something like that, it's more than likely going to get worse.
Christopher Bell up for 14th.
continues to fight his way back. These guys, they've had issues earlier in the race, and they just keep clawing and keep digging.
Comers and goers. 28 cars on the lead lap. 3 cars out of the race. Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, and Austin Cindric. The free pass right now is Ty Dillon, 2 laps down, as is Joey Logano and Todd Gilliland.
This battle right here, it's on between these two. Whoever beats who out of pit road and gets a good restart, when that happens, I'm telling you, those guys, that's going to be your winner. Traffic will have a deal. How about Ricky Stenhouse getting up there running third? Great run for him. They need a good run.
JTG Doherty now a single car team this year for Stenhouse.
Looking good.
Yeah, I know we've got a long way to go in the regular season, but the hole they've dug, they've almost already put themselves into a must-win situation if they want to make the playoffs.
100%. We were all over that last week. I mean, you know, looking at a track like Talladega, that wild card race where we've seen so many, you know, wins come from that never won before or whatever scenario, he was certainly high on my list as somebody that needed a win desperately bad. Still does, obviously.
Ross Chastain looking back at Martin Truex in 5th.
More than anything, though, when you're struggling and you just keep working harder and harder and can't get yourself dug out of the hole, a good run, just establishing yourself as a solid weekend, you know, it just helps everybody across the board. Confidence is everything, and a good run certainly helps that.
Not sure we've seen exactly how good Kevin Harvick. I think he's monitoring this tire situation, and he's going to maybe start rearing his head here in a little bit. Don't know if he can go up there and take the lead, but I think he's got a good top 10 car.
7th place here with the lap car of Kurt Busch, and it's Kyle Larson who threads the needle. Larson's up 6 spots since the restart.
Just behind them, the 9 of Chase Elliott. Last run was one of the fastest cars. Got back here in traffic, having trouble to get up through the field to pass, making the passes. You get that car out front in clean air, though, that thing flies.
Regan?
Well, Mike, we've seen the up and down day for Kyle Larson, including that spin on the front stretch. I can tell you, of my guys in pit road, he is actually in the best shape tire-wise right now. The 5 car sitting with 3 stickers sets of tire. Nobody else has that.
Keep that in mind as we get through these final 126 laps.
He's going to need some cautions to start happening pretty soon. You need long enough runs that people are forced to have a decision on their hands. Use up those tires, and then you finally have one at the end. You're going to need some laps to be able to capitalize on that.
Corey LaJoie at 16th and carrying the race title sponsor on his car. Having a good run. Michael McDowell right behind him. Those two got together in the final corner at Talladega last week, and it was McDowell who came up from below the yellow line and sent LaJoie spinning into the inside wall.
Yeah, Michael's had a couple of consecutive top 10 finishes at the Bristol Dirt Race and Talladega last week. In fact, he was the highest finishing Ford driver last week at Talladega.
Does not surprise me about Michael McDowell on a super speedway. Very good. Obviously Daytona 500 winner.
But that memory is so fresh, he may not want to get too close to LaJoie today. Daniel Suarez 24th, 16 seconds back of the lead. That's Chase Briscoe just ahead. Battle for position. There your leaders go by with 122 to go. Kyle Busch out front of Alex Bowman by 0.7 of a second. We'll take you Fox side by side. 115 laps to go in Dover. Kyle Busch leading. Let's take a look at today's Credit One Bank ones to watch.
Well, you know where I'm going, Mike. That's right. The birthday boy never lost on a birthday. It's going to happen. 3 for 3. Kyle Busch is my man. Winning, leading laps already. Going to win the race.
Well, Clint, last week it was a big win for Ross Chastain at Talladega. This week, led laps early, lost his track position, but slowly gaining that back now. In third position, Ross Chastain is who I'm watching at the end.
Well, Regan, we know Kyle Larson has a very eventful day so far, but remember, top 3 finishes his last 3 races here. After that issue early, he's already back in the top 10. Kyle Larson is always one to watch.
I'd say the 48 of Alex Bowman. He's the defending race winner, won here a year ago, has more top 5s here than any other track. He's stalking Kyle Busch, hoping to upset that birthday party later on.
Today's race is brought to you by the letter M. M is for Martin. And M is for Monday. And 2 of Martin's 3 wins at Dover have come on races that finished on the M day Monday. Martin winning. Does that start with M? It does if you turn it upside down. And those are your Credit One Bank ones to watch. I'm reminded Moron also starts with M. Okay.
Inside bottom 5 silver.
There's Austin Dillon back on the lead lap until just now when Kyle Busch went by, putting him 1 down. 110 laps to go. This is the time of this race when drivers start getting up and into what we call the Harry Gant groove, way up there, expanding this racetrack and widening it out as much as possible. Don't think we're quite going to see that today. It says they're about 1 groove off the wall. The drivers working on handling and diamonding the racetrack.
Well, and hey, let's look back. We saw those tires starting to have trouble right around 60 laps on their tires. Knowing that you're going to need this might sort it out and run long here. Try to get this thing to the end.
Yeah.
And it's those tires, right?
Yeah, we went back racing with 143 laps to go. If you split that, you need to try to run about 70 or 71 laps. So somewhere between 320 and 325 is when we're looking at making that stop. Whoa. If we don't get a caution.
You said 71. I just told you my tires were coming apart at lap 60. How am I going to do that?
You're going to have to back it off just a little bit.
I was afraid you was going to say that.
Ty Dillon about to go 3 down, and Harrison Burton goes a lap down after getting the free pass back at lap 157. The rookie now 1 lap down, and Ty, who was 2 down, now going 3. Ryan Blaney trying to work his way back through up after that late pit stop. He has gained 5 since the restart. He's at 20th.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they gained by doing what they did, which is huge, was that 1 playoff point for winning that stage, because he went from leading all the way back well outside the top 20 when he had to pit.
Eric Almirola trying to hold off Christopher Bell. This is for 10th. That pass leaves Chris Buescher as the only Ford in the top 10 in 8th place.
Two P10.
Just been steady Eddie for Almirola all season long. You know, that haven't really been up front and leading laps, but have been solid right there. The backside of a top 10, if not a top 10, about every time you look over your shoulder at the end of the race.
Last trip to Dover for Eric. He said this will be the final year of his NASCAR Cup career. And now that Dover's down to 1 race per year, this is it. Kyle Larson's probably passed more cars than anyone today. To the back, to the front, to the back, to the front again. There's a look at his day after that spin. Put us under caution back at lap 157.
Digging back out of that hole. You can see the hole that the spin out put in the day for the 5 car. Slowly but surely digging back out of it.
Here's another look at it.
It was a long, lazy spin. Took a long time for it to happen, but did a great job just barely kissing the wall on the inside, saving that thing, nursing it back around. Had some damage actually because of those tires down, and that's what you see on the right front. The team did a great job fixing those repairs. You see the hole in the hood from the flap that got knocked out of it, but it doesn't seem to be hurting him whatsoever.
He's up to 7th. One of the very few things that Kyle Larson has never done in the Cup Series is spin and go on to win.
You know, Clint, you talk about that hole. That's where that hood flap goes. It can be open like that. You can't tape it up. If you either have to be open or the flap has to be there and be workable, because that's part of the package. When a car spins out, it deploys, it helps keep the car on the ground. It either be open or it has to be operable.
So now on our scoring pylon, you see how long it's been since they have been to pit road. Of the top 20, only Ryan Blaney was in appreciably later than anybody else because he stopped at the stage break. Everyone else stopped at the prior caution.
And you heard Larry say about 60 laps in, you started to see tire trouble. 57 laps, I'm getting nervous, boys.
And again, just to iterate, I think what the crew chiefs are looking at is how many more laps to run to be able to even this thing out to the end of the race should we stay green. And that's going to come somewhere about 18 to 23, 24 laps from now.
Yeah, you don't want it to happen. You don't want the caution to come right now. That's making that next round, the next run even longer on that set of tires.
This is the longest green flag run of the race. Ross Chastain had faded a little bit into the clutches of Martin Truex, but now Chastain is back on the pedal and he's picked up about 4/10. There's the gap back to Martin. That is 3rd to 4th place.
You know, we showed him a while ago, Christopher Bell in that 20 car. He's actually turning some of the fastest laps we have right now.
That leads us into the Xfinity fastest last lap of the race, and there is Christopher Bell leading the league. We see a number of drivers that look like they have eased it a bit, as race leader Kyle Busch about to put a lap here on Brad Keselowski, who is running about 4/10 of a second slower than the leader, perhaps by design.
Yeah, and Brad, actually, he is probably, of all the drivers, a lot of them that's out there, maybe just inside the top 20, he's the worst shape as far as his tires.
Well, you saw it right there, a big time wiggle in the middle of the corner. He's definitely wanting to get in and get some new tires on that machine.
Martin is there on Ross Chastain. This is for 3rd.
Gets a run. Gonna go ahead and take it to the outside.
He's there.
These two have been hooked together, though, I think 2/3 of this race.
Yeah, Truex has had to pass him every single time. He is tired of seeing that one car, I promise.
Good day for Chastain, though. He's spent over 140 laps of this race in the top 5.
That's the thing about Ross Chastain. Yeah, he's got the 2 wins, 6 top 5s. Just doesn't seem to have a weak racetrack. He runs good at all types of tracks.
And for that very reasons why I said earlier, I think he's a candidate for a strong possibility in a run at that championship at the end of the year.
You know, in the last few years, he spent a lot of weekends racing in all 3 of NASCAR's National Series, logging a lot of laps on all these tracks. And, well, this year it's all paid off.
Yeah, you finally get him into a good hot rod, and he's utilizing all of that experience of using all those different series.
Tyler Reddick trying not to be in their way. He is 1 lap down.
Whoa, he kissed the wall a little bit.
This body, not a problem.
No, I love it.
And Kurt Busch, whose car has had some damage earlier, makes a pit stop. Kyle Busch, the leader, by a 1.5 seconds, side by side. 85 laps to go in Dover, and Ryan Blaney, who pitted at the end of stage 2 after getting the stage 2 win from Kyle Busch, is going to go a lap down here.
We had one other green flag stop. Ryan Preece had a little bit of a right front issue. He pitted about 4 laps to go. What these guys need, they need about 8 more laps, and then they will be evening it out, splitting this stage in half pretty much to the end.
Can the tires make it? Can they hold on?
I think the tire wear is definitely getting better. I think the rubber that's on this racetrack right now definitely much better than it was earlier in the day.
Chase Briscoe goes 1 lap down to Kyle Busch, and that'll leave us just 19 cars on the lead lap.
That 48 car, though, of Alex Bowman, he will not go away. You see it right there, back there in the second, just lurking.
You're exactly right, and he was able to capitalize on Briscoe and Ryan Blaney racing for that lap down position. Having trouble, giving to the leader Kyle Busch trouble. He caught him in a big way. And I think it's because of where he's running on the racetrack. Bowman was able to figure out that outside a little bit better and helps him in traffic. The other one is this guy right here. Throw him the peace sign.
Monday Martin is 0.2 of a second faster than the 2 leaders right now.
Yes, he is. What you called earlier there, that orange ball, it's getting bigger.
Yes, it is.
Jamie.
Martin Truex Jr., a 3-time winner here. Talked to his crew chief, James Small, and he said, we have just been off on speed overall this year. He said, if we get a top 5 today, it's great. Obviously, a win will be even better, and he has had a great run. This is one of the best runs I've seen from start to this point all season long. Truex right now just saying it's riding a little bit rough on the right sides. Vegas.
AJ Allmendinger hits pit road. That race car right now is just, the front is turning better, but the rear is out of the track for him. A good run for AJ. It'll be a quick stop here.
Ryan Blaney is in after going a lap down.
Yeah, I think this is going to start an outbreak. We're seeing more drivers hit pit road, but I think you're right there now. Eric Almirola and 10 cars in.
Remind that driver, no mistakes. Hit your marks. So hard to get on pit road here. Everybody, we've covered that for so many times. But whatever you do, do not get caught speeding on pit road.
Regan.
William Byron on pit road right now. Felt like something was wrong in the middle part of that run with the back of the race car. Did make it all the way to the end, though.
The leaders are in.
Alex
Bowman a tire on the racetrack in the back stretch.
All he could. I think it's off the 16 car.
And caution waves for the 10th time. Lap 324.
I didn't mean to get excited there. Sorry, guys, but I saw that tire right in the middle of the racetrack. Cars were scrambling. And actually, what I saw first is the spotters are standing right next to us, and all of them were pointing over there to other spotters that the tire was on a racetrack.
Jamie.
You saw Kyle Busch just came in there, and the 48 followed suit. Barely made that entry to pit road, but Kyle Busch just losing rear grip, so he'll be happy to get these tires. And you see it there, the remnants of the 16 wheel fall off.
Right front on AJ Allmendinger's car. And that's the second one of the day. Martin Truex earlier with a left, or excuse me, Denny Hamlin earlier with a left front. And hoping nobody catches that and launches it. And fortunately, no one did. Austin Dillon might have come closest.
Again, I want to take you back to, it was so cool to see those spotters standing right next to us start signaling to other spotters that that tire was on a racetrack. That's something that I've never seen before. You always hear your spotter in your ear, but to see firsthand, they actually got my attention before that tire on the racetrack.
What got my attention, we need to let scoring reset. It may have ended up being a perfect storm for Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman. We're going to see after it resets here. .75 laps to go. Kyle Busch
had just given up the lead to come to pit road with Alex Bowman. And while they were coming down to their pit stalls, the caution came out for Allmendinger's errant wheel and tire out in turn 2.
Yeah, what Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman's going to have to do, they are a lap down with about 1 lap on their tires. They'll obviously take the wave around when all these leaders pit.
Now, at the time of the caution, Chase Briscoe was the first car 1 lap down, so he will get the free pass. Pit road is open. Here come the lead lap cars. Regan.
Mike Chastain still struggling with the turn in that race car as they have been all day long. The problem is he loses the rear grip too quick during the runs. Battling with the 47 a while ago at the start of that run. He slid it once, said it got worse every lap after that. Jamie?
And Chase Elliott, the 9, doing what he typically does, just gets better as it goes on. They were happy with the pace of the 9 there, a tear off in 4 tires. The 47, what a run he has had today. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just a little bit free, and like everybody's saying, the right rear is just gone. Happy to get these sticker tires on. And the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. was riding a little bit rough on the right side because of tire wear. No adjustments for the 19.
There's your Ram race off pit road. Chastain, Truex, Elliott. Christopher Bell, and then Ricky Stenhouse drops a couple of spots here. Congratulations to the 209 players that still have a chance at Clint's $5,000. One question to go that deals with the finish of the race, which is coming 72 laps from now. This caution flag, while leader Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman were on pit road, has really jumbled things up. We're just hearing Denny Hamlin just got nabbed for speeding, and topsy-turvy. How many laps are you going to go? How hard are you going to race to get 70 laps on these tires?
We proved we could go 70 laps right then. The caution was not for a tire issue. It was for a tire and a wheel issue. So I'm feeling pretty good that we can run this thing to the end. But I don't think we're finished with cautions right now. But putting Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch at the rear of this field, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, my pick, right? The birthday boy, Kyle Busch. He is going to have to make some hay out there on the racetrack. Austin, you are exactly right. Really shook this race up with this caution. Ross Chastain back in the point position. position, but Truex. I'm telling you, Truex has been fast all day long. Keep your eye on him.
Martin will restart second, and A.J. Allmendinger exits his car in the garage. They had lifted the hood, a lot of smoke from under the hood, maybe unrelated to losing the wheel and tire on the right front, but he is done for the day, joining Cody Ware, B.J. McLeod, and Austin Cindric in the garage. They will restart with 70 laps to go.
By my past experience, if you fight a pit box, the pit box will win every time. So he had better thoughts.
Now among the contenders, 17 lead lap cars, including Briscoe, who's the free pass. Kyle Busch will restart 16th. Alex Bowman will restart 17th. They were on pit road when the caution flag flew. And these restarts have been wild. Everybody trying to get everything in the first 2 laps under green. Notably Kyle Larson, who starting outside of row 3, we've seen him make some bold moves out and around the high side. But this time he's going to start inside of row 3. Green flag.
The 9 with the run. He cleared the 19 lane lower right here.
Brandon McReynolds, Ross Chastain's spotter.
Ross has been so good on these restarts. He has been absolute money, whether he's up there leading or back in the pack.
Yeah, his short run speed is just tremendous. And the jumps that he's been getting on that outside. You saw it right there firsthand on the in-car. He just been really on point on his starts for sure.
Eric Jones 6th under fire from Kyle Larson, the series champ. Kyle Busch coming from the back at 17th. Now Alex Bowman got a better restart. He's at 15th.
3 with the 22 in the mid.
Yeah, they're having to fight even drivers that are 1 or more laps down, because when you take a wave around, you start at the tail end of the field.
48's got some debris on the nose of his car. It's a pretty big piece as well. He's going to try to. This looks like a piece of foam out of.
Car in the wall, turn 3. And spinning goes Daniel Suarez. He was not the car that hit the wall, however. And we'll re-rack him and try again. That's the 11th caution flag at lap 335. Suarez spun to avoid someone ahead of him who got up and into the wall in turn 3.
I don't think he's down, but I messed him up, obviously.
Oh. That was Corey LaJoie.
There you go. Caution coming here. Caution.
It was pretty tight on his door.
They were racing for 12th place. LaJoie and Suarez.
Well, LaJoie, it all started off at 2. LaJoie was side by side. I couldn't really see who he was there door to door off of 2, and it gave Suarez that big run getting off into 3. And when he went to lift out of the gas, just got into the 7 car. Not a lot of damage, but
a miracle another car didn't get into him. He was sliding down that banking.
you hear how he picked the gas back up sideways. That kept that car from sliding up and getting into the wall. Good heads up driving.
Pit road's going to be pretty lonely. But we only ran about 4 laps, and looks like maybe Cora LaJoy will be coming to pit road. But a lot of teams sitting out there with only 1 set of tires. There's several that they do have 2, and we still, we're going to have about 60 laps to go.
Cole Custer gets the free pass on this, the 11th caution of the race. Kyle Busch had gained 5 spots, fought his way back up to 15th spot. Alex Bowman up to 13th spot. After all that, Denny Hamlin early on, first pit stop, the center lock wheel nut had fallen out of the gun and rolled away. They couldn't keep him from leaving pit road, and he lost that wheel. Kyle Larson spun without contact. That's a hard thing to do here at Dover. Without contact with the wall, that is. A.J. Allmendinger and Kurt Busch get together. It's been a really rough day for Joey Logano here, going around off Eric Jones up and into the wall, but Logano had not been very competitive. Denny Hamlin trying to avoid a spinning Cody Ware. Instead gets the right side really roughed up, and Ryan Blaney is the stage 2 winner after Hamlin had scored in stage 1. And just now, the 11th caution of the day, Daniel Suarez and Corey LaJoy. In the last 27 races at Dover, only 2 of them have had more cautions than we've had in this race so far.
And the writing was on the wall at the first lap in practice Saturday. Had cars already backwards getting into 3. This track has proven to be a monster for these guys this weekend. That track, this Monster Mile is just a beast. It's a beast on everything. I was really curious, Larry, about this race car. Can the components handle this challenging, demanding racetrack? They have basically been doing that, but I'm wondering why these wheels are having trouble on pit road. I mean, we kind of had that put to bed, and all of a sudden, boom, we've had 2 or 3 today.
Well, let's go back to Denny Hamlin's stop, and he lost it. It was a pit stop under 10 seconds. So, and again, the jackman dropped the car, and that's Denny's sign to go. Now, I'm sure what adds insult to A.J. Allmendinger, the stop he lost the wheel was over 13 seconds and still did not get one of the lug nuts on there.
So Hamlin trying to recover from 1 lap down, and he is 5 spots away from the free pass position when we restart. There's the rubber that's been laid down. Ross Chastain is on a roll. 2 wins, running a lot of laps up front and in the top 5, and being a contender week after week. And currently the leader. But Chase Elliott came in here as one of the pre-race favorites. The only Hendrick driver who has yet to visit victory lane this season. Can he grab one here? Or will Martin Truex, who's won twice here on Mondays, or Ricky Stenhouse come out of row 2 to get this one? They'll restart with 61 to go.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's not won on an oval since Phoenix, November of 2020.
Absolutely. After practice, I said, watch that 9-ball, boys. I'm telling you, that's the heat. But Stenhouse and Eric Jones right behind him running up front today. Good to see. Great start for Chase Elliott on the bottom that time, holding strong. Might get to the point right here. He can take the lead. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. It's hard to come off the corners. You need that track. You need that real estate to move up. And when the one of Chastain's out there, you have to lift out of the gas.
Chastain keeps trying to get that run off the corner, but Chase Elliott's car, it's wrapping the bottom. The car is turning, gets good drive off the corner.
Chastain holding strong on that outside. Great race.
Side by side for third as well.
They know how important that clean air is. You get out front, you just might win this race. And Chastain's holding him down in that back straightaway, isn't he?
Backstretch spin. Single car. Tyler Reddick slid down to the inside without contacting anyone, but he got a piece.
Try to get it rolling here if you can. Bring it straight to him. Let him get a look at it.
Got a piece of the wall there with the nose. 12th caution of the day, lap 343. Spun up off turn 2 and then got that wall midway down the back straightaway. Look right underneath the crossover bridge. Hard to tell if there was any contact. Brad Keselowski was several feet behind him and the first to take evasive action there.
Tyler has had a very up and down and very eventful couple of 3 days here at Dover for sure.
That right front wasn't turning. That's a problem. Getting into his pit stall will be another one.
Clint, you asked me, are we pitting right here? And if you're up near the front, even though we only have 18 drivers on the lead lap, absolutely not. We only have about 6 to 7 green flag laps on the tires.
Brad Keselowski will get the free pass as Reddick limps it in. Here's some Ross Chastain audio.
I don't think it's really our car balance. There's just no air. It's like shoving air into the left side door. Shoves me up like a boat wake.
These cars do some funky things when it comes to aero. I think especially at a high bank 1 mile racetrack like this.
It takes me back to that side-by-side racing though that we saw. I was very curious. I looked at the board when the caution come out and it was Elliott that was in the lead. They gave it back to Chastain because of the timing line. That's an important piece to having this restart and being on the outside.
Now Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski were racing for the free pass position. Because Reddick is the caution, there is no free pass on this yellow flag. Ross the boss out front with 56 to go in Dover.
they'll get ready to do it all again this coming weekend at Darlington.
Which is the track too tough to tame, so they know they're going to be up against some serious challenges there as well. Yeah, and it's just got to be rough, Dave. When you have a good race car, it gets beat up by contact with another driver or the safer barrier, and then you just got to ride around this difficult track the way it is with a good race car.
Particularly here, Alex, because there's no, like the song goes, nowhere to
55 laps to go, and then it's over and over. Ross Chastain in a Chevrolet, your leader. Martin Truex, the first Toyota, in third. Pole sitter Chris Buescher is the first Ford. He's in 8th place. We'll restart with 18 lead lap cars. Again, no free pass because the car who brought out the caution, Tyler Reddick, was in the free pass position. Ricky Stenhouse hanging tough there in the second row.
Eric Jones and Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, you want to talk about, we showed that heart rate, if you will, of where the 5 car has been all through this. I'm telling you, that 20 of Christopher Bell has been all over in the lineup of this race today.
Well, I see a couple of drivers that are in that picture right there. Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch got burnt by that caution. They have worked their way back inside the top 10, top 11.
That's right. Bowman 9th and Busch in 11th.
I hate to say this, though, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I know it's our birthday party and he's my pick, but that was a costly caution for him. I don't know that he's going to get back in to leading this, unless maybe some track strategy. You think somebody will maybe take some 2 tires?
Well, we're going to have to run a little bit, I think, before anybody up front even thinks about pitting. We only have 6 laps on these tires.
We'll get to thinking about it. I'm going back racing.
That's what we'll do right now with 53 to go.
Perfect.
Another good jump for the 9 of Chase Elliott. Can he get clear?
Yes.
Yes, he does. And Stenhouse in tow.
Ricky Stenhouse trying to bring Jody and Tad Geschechter and Brad Doherty back to victory lane for the first time in 276 races.
That is a great job by Chase Elliott. Very hard to do on the bottom of that racetrack. Timing that and being ready for that restart. Great job.
Stenhouse still going after second place here.
It doesn't get any closer than that without a wreck, and it takes me back to this car and the aero side of it. You don't see side force issues with this car. Those guys being that close to one another. How about Ricky Stenhouse taking second place? But you just don't see those cars get loose side by side like you used to with the old car.
While they were racing, though, Chase Elliott, he's pulled out to a nice little, almost a second lead in that 9 car.
Kyle Busch up 1 spot from the restart from 11th to 10th. Bowman, last year's winner, still holding 8th.
Chastain really losing the handling on his race car. Looks tight. Those cycles on the tires probably built that pressure up, cooled down. Looks like he's fighting a tight condition.
Well, I do know this. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 47 car, he just ran his fastest lap of this race, 351 laps into it.
It's go time, baby. The win would be huge for him and his team.
Suarez has picked up 1 spot since the restart. Cole Custer 2. Eric Almirola in the free pass position. First car 1 lap down.
And I don't want to discount how hard they're going to have to run these cars now, because now it's go time. But they're going to have, if this went caution free, they will end up with roughly about 60 laps on this set of tires.
You're right. Pay window's open. I can feel it. I can taste it. I'm going.
And that should be doable, right, Larry?
Based on that last run, yes. I just think the track has taken enough rubber now. It certainly has helped the tire wear.
Fastest car on the track that lap, Stenhouse in second, 23.52. Not quite a 10th quicker than Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch has led the most laps, 103, the most he's led in a race since he led 159 at Bristol in September of 2020. Ross Chastain's been out front for 81, Denny Hamlin 67.
Love the fact, though, we've had 18 lead changes among 10 drivers, which is very unusual at Dover.
Elliott fastest that last lap with a 48, 23:48.
Certainly is. You heard me say on that last restart, you get that thing out front, it is a rocket ship. And it certainly is, driving away from the field.
First forward in the race is Buescher in 9th. You're riding with Harvick in 13th. He is the leading Stewart Haas forward. 2 spots up on Cole Custer. 3 on Briscoe. 6 on Almirola. Martin Truex, highest running of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas, in 4th. Christopher Bell in 5th. Kyle Busch in 10th.
Yeah, Clint pointed out to me it's almost like Kyle Busch now that he's back there in traffic. He's just kind of locked down. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's unfortunately hasn't been moving at all. I want to change my pick. I knew I should have stuck with that 9 car. I told you after practice, Larry. He's a bad machine this weekend. Bad mamma jammin', it's his turn.
Here's the Hendrick group that swept this race last year, finishing 1 through 4, led by Alex Bowman. And of the super teams, it has been a tough day for Team Penske. With Ryan Blaney 2 laps down, Joey Logano -3, and Austin Cindric out very early in this race.
You have to search long and hard to find Joey Logano in a race 3 laps down.
In fact, of the Penske group, including the Wood brothers, Harrison Burton, the rookie, is the highest placed of those in 25th.
You know, just looking at Chase Elliott in that 9 car, Clint, I talked to Alan Gustafson a few weeks ago about what's going on. You know, it's not like they're running terrible. They're the points leader coming into this race. He said it's just like we can't find what Chase has been looking for in this car. We've really had to work hard. And it sounds like right now, or looks like right now, at least for Dover, they've locked in on what he's looking for.
A lot of times what you're looking for is just a win. And it changes everything. Changes your attitude, your confidence, and your decision making, all of those things. They get a win here today, that'll fix a lot of stuff with that team.
Just riding smooth right now, Jamie.
And to follow up with what Larry was saying, I talked to Alan and he told me Chase is a cerebral driver. He doesn't just jump in and go. He has to think everything out. And that's why we see him coming on stronger at the end of a race from the beginning of the race. And I'm thinking that overnight he had a chance to really process today's race because they did not expect to run that great today.
His dad, Bill Elliott, will join us at Darlington for Stage 3 next week.
It's going to be awesome to have Awesome Bill in that booth with us. But I wasn't that kind of driver, Larry. I was a jump in and go type of guy. I needed you to make that car fast for me, and I needed to tell you it was loose or tight, and I needed to stay out of everything else.
I never worked with you, but no doubt in my mind you came out of the hauler qualifying.
You worked with me. We set quick time at Bowman Gray.
We did, yeah. Half a second faster than your old boss, Tony Stewart.
I hope you heard that.
Justin Haley 12th. Trying to hold off Kevin Harvick here. Bubba Wallace just ahead. This is all for position. .35 to go. Chase Elliott, champion of our sport 2 seasons ago, and the current point leader. But as Larry pointed out, it's the longest streak of his career without a win, whereas his teammates have all been to victory lane.
That's the one that gets under your skin. That's the one that bugs you the most, is when your teammates are having the success in the same kind of equipment you are. Boy, there's nothing more frustrating. But it never gets under him. Like, he never shows that. Every single time in pre-race, Larry, I'll ask him, Man, I picked you this weekend after practice. I think you're the Heat. Nah, we'll just have to see.
All he'll say is it's a long season. Our time will come.
Saw Bubba Wallace go by Kevin Harvick. This is a battle for 11th. This could be Bubba Wallace's best day since finishing second in the Daytona 500 back in February. This is where the crew chief starts going through all the what if. What if the caution comes out with 20 to go? What if it comes out with 10 to go? I'm kind of like you, Clint. If we get much deeper, if I am going to pit based on what we saw with Justin Haley in that 31 car, I'm thinking about 2 right side tires only. But I think if we get down to close to 10 to go, track position's king no matter what tires you're on.
Well, we saw that with the 12 car. Blaney staying out on old tires held him off.
Chase Briscoe's done a nice job of rebounding from being a lap down earlier. Let's get back up front with Jamie.
How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the biggest surprise there in the top 5, and it's not a fluke or a strategy call. They've been running top 10 all day long, and Mike, if you look at the stats, he hasn't even finished in the top 20 since Fontana. Really nice shot in the arm for this team.
They will all be eating Frobert this afternoon. Great run for Stenhouse. Now here's Kyle Busch battling Chris Buescher and taking over the 9th spot from the pole sitter. He is running a little less than 1/10 of a second faster than leader Chase Elliott, but long way to go. 7.3 seconds behind and 29 laps to get there. Nice rebound for Chase Briscoe, who got the competition caution free pass, and then another one back at lap 324 when Allmendinger lost his wheel. Made some adjustments and they've done well. Eric Jones been in the top 10 all day as he moves aside for an on-rushing Alex Bowman.
You're right, rushing. That 48 car is flying right now past both cars, Larson and Eric Jones, like they were standing still. 48's headed to the front.
Yeah, he's running 6 right now, a little over 5.5 seconds behind. I think with 27 laps to go, he's going to need the aid of a caution if he wants to get up there and truly battle for the win.
14th place, Suarez and Wallace. Keep trading that position back and forth. And Cole Custer with them. Kyle Larson passes Eric Jones. That's for 7th place. A lot of changes here, except at the top. The front 4 holding station. Elliott, Stenhouse, Chastain, and Truex. Kind of expected Truex to make a march toward the front here, as he had done after each of the last couple of restarts. But there's Martin running. He's a 10th faster than Elliott right now, in 4th place, 2.5 seconds back.
You know, I want to go back to Jamie's report on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and the 47 crew, Brian Patty. They've made 7 trips to pit road. They've all been for 4 tires, and they've just been solid, right in the 10 and 11 second bracket. No mistakes.
I just can't help but to think, you know, as long as this run is, these tires are going to be an issue.
Alex Bowman fastest that lap. The only driver under 24 seconds. Bowman in 6th. 23 to go.
And by issue, I don't mean an issue. I meant the guy that manages them the best, nurses these things along, getting them to the end. That's an art. You're going to have to take care of that thing. Don't lean on that wheel. We've seen so many right fronts have trouble.
Best battle on the racetrack is right here. Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, Cole Custer fighting hard for 14th.
It's actually a pretty good rebound for Daniel Suarez in that 99 car, considering the spin not that many laps ago.
You see Denny Hamlin in the picture, but he is 1 lap down. Michael McDowell joining the battle up on the high side. And Brad Keselowski also 1 lap down. Ricky Stenhouse is going to leave here having run as many laps in the top 5 today as he did in the first 10 races of the season.
Yeah, Dover has proven to be all over the place for these teams. Some of them have really hit it, like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Brian Patty, and man, others, Penske boys. What a struggle. Tyler Reddick caught him off guard, didn't it?
Now Stenhouse picked up 1/10 of a second on Elliott the last lap and 4/10 on this lap. He's coming.
Yeah, Chase is really having to work some lap traffic right now. That's really hurting his lap times.
Absolutely, and now the one car in Truex is right behind Stenhouse. Stenhouse is going to have to do pretty work getting through these lap cars. Be quick with them. Don't get stalled out. They'll be on you if you are.
Guess who's running together now? Ross Chastain and Martin Truex Jr.
Did they ever separate?
I don't think so. Battle for third.
And it's Truex once again running him down and having to make a pass.
The first time Martin Truex won here, he was driving a car number 1 for DEI. And there's Stenhouse right around the top. Around Harrison Burton.
I mean, there they are, second, third, and fourth, right there together with 18 laps to go.
Which is probably just what Chase Elliott wants to hear. But they're back battling each other 2 seconds back.
Stenhouse Jr. did a great job getting through those 4 or 5 lap cars. Now got another one out of his way. That battle is certainly heating up.
Boy, Daniel Suarez and Bubba Wallace have been driving their hearts out here for these last 30 laps. Still for 14th and 15th and 16th with Cole Custer.
And about a half a straightaway ahead of our leader, Chase Elliott. I mean, it looks like about half the field that's up there in front of him.
It's quite a big group. .15 to go, and Elliott's lead, which had shrunk to 1.2 seconds, has now increased to 2.1.
I see Stenhouse, you're riding along with him in second place, moving around a little bit. He kind of got off the bottom, finding a little bit of grip, looking for a little bit of grip in the middle of the racetrack. See Chastain running high. He's feeling things out as well. Now he's back to the bottom.
Yeah, I think they're all starting to move around now because they know, to Mike's point, 14 laps to go.
Well, and those tires are slap wore out again. The other part of that, moving around, trying to find that grip, thinking about what's ahead. Those lappers that you talked about, so many lap cars, you get into a pack of lappers and you can't, move around, you're going to be in trouble.
Coming up next on FS1 after the race here in Dover, it's Speak for Yourself. 12 laps to go. Chase Elliott holding pretty steady at 2.1 seconds plus over Ricky Stenhouse, who's opened up a little gap on Chastain and Truex, who remain bumper to bumper.
I was going to say, open that gap up because these two are battling once again. Truex trying to get to the outside of Chastain. Chastain's making that car as wide as possible. Probably doing a little mirror driving now. Money's on the line. See how late he was at the throttle where Truex got to the gas before him? Tight in the middle.
Contract year for Truex. Some speculation this might be his final trip to the Monster Mile. Not sure what will happen next season with Martin and that number 19.
Yeah, I know Martin has not found victory lane this year, but this group is definitely starting to come to life. Good top 5 at Talladega last week, which is unusual for Martin to get that at Talladega, and a good run here so far.
In 8 of our 10 races this year, we would not have yet had the final pass for the lead. Most all time for NASCAR in the first 10 races of any season.
She has been unpredictable. Who would ever believe we'd be 10 races in, or our 2 multiple winners would be William Byron and Ross Chastain.
And look at all the drivers who were within 1 corner of victory and had it go away. Chastain now with a little gap on Truex, drifting back in front of teammate Christopher Bell.
I am just glued to this racetrack trying to watch these cars, watch for anybody slipping around, losing the handling on their race car.
Somebody way climbed the hill in turn 4, got it back. Tyler Reddick.
It was Reddick
with a damaged car. Gathered it back up. Wants to complete these final 7 laps without incident. Boy, Ryan Blaney won a stage, then got 2 laps down and could never rebound in that number 12.
Boy, Chase Elliott, our leader, in a hornet's nest right now with drivers trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. Just fighting him overall here as we'll be coming to 5 to go.
Spotter Eddie DeHaant's got to guide him through here.
Tight. Five more.
Third place is going to be the race. Chastain and Truex. Just 2 car lengths apart.
An opportunity ahead in those lappers. You got to use that as the pick for Truex. It's almost as if he's lagged back a little bit, cooling his tires off, going to try to time one of these lappers and make it pounce on him.
Oh, Kyle Busch trying for 7th place here. Not going to get the W, but he has worked hard to bring that car back up toward the top 5.
Yeah, just that ill-timed caution for Kyle Busch as well as Alex Bowman.
Bowman 6th, Kyle 8th right now.
3 more.
Bubba Wallace 16th, goes a lap down. Puts Cole Custer 15th, the last car on the lead lap. Notice how calm Eddie DeHaant is on the radio. Doesn't say much. Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
That whole program's that way, from Chase Elliott all the way down.
Yeah, Alan Gustafson, the crew chief as well.
White flag at the line. White flag at the line.
Just get this thing back to the line as fast as possible.
1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. For Chase Elliott to become the 4th and final Hendrick driver to visit victory lane this season.
Was fastest in practice. Once that 9 car got in the lead, proved to be the fastest in the race as well.
Kyle Busch led the most laps today, 103. But Chase Elliott and his Hendrick Motorsports Camaro going to lead the last one.
Yeah, boys. Caution's out. Checker flag.
Caution checker Martin Truex. Comes to grief on the last lap.
Him and Chastain. I want to see a replay on this, but I'm telling you, went for it.
Digging it today.
The white flag had already waved. Elliott came to the line, gets the win, but here's what happens for 3rd.
Chastain got up. I've never seen Chastain moves up, shuts the door on him. He got loose, and man, once it got sideways, it just never could get back underneath of him. He's going to be frustrated with that.
Yes, he will be. We just had talked about what a great run he had going.
And unofficially, Martin Truex is 12th. It's the 14th career win for 2nd generation star and series champ Chase Elliott. He won at Road America last year, 26 races ago. It's his first oval track win in 46 starts. And his first win of the season, where he becomes the 9th different driver to win in 11 races this year.
Sure did. That puts all 4 of them in victory lane this year.
And in the playoffs.
Yeah, without a doubt, the organization, everybody's chasing.
He came in here as the point standing leader, which would automatically qualify him for the playoffs. But it is the first time any NASCAR team has ever won with 4 different drivers in just the first 11 races of a season.
Great drive, buddy.
We've seen with him in this 19, when they get that first win, they can become very, very dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Littles with our winner.
All the fans standing on the fence, so excited. Their favorite driver, Chase Elliott, gets it done today. Chase, I talked to Alan Gustafson this morning. He said, we're not very good. We weren't very good yesterday. What did you two together do to this car to be so dominant the second half of this race and finally get back to victory lane?
Yeah, just had some good circumstances finally. Just really appreciate Alan and our entire team for just sticking with it. You know, we've had some tough races over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, and just great to get Napa back to victory lane, great to get Hendrick Motorsports back to victory lane. Just so proud. This one means a lot in a lot of different ways, but just appreciate all the effort. Watch out, we're rolling. But thanks to all the fans for coming out. You're always awesome. Hope to see this big crowd here next year, but just a huge thanks to everybody involved. It's been a fun day, and we're certainly going to enjoy it. Like I told them after the race, those guys, they've been deserving of one for a while. So glad we could get across the line first, and we'll enjoy it for a few days and go to work next week.
There's that Chase Elliott smile we haven't seen in a while. He goes back to victory lane for the first time this season.
Elliott the winner, Ricky Stenhouse with a great second place finish, and you saw on the left of the screen Ross Chastain and Martin Truex agreeing to disagree. Regan?
Mike, it was a great day for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a second place finish. This team needed something good to happen, and it definitely happened today.
Yeah, it did, man. You know, it's been a rough start to the season. Our short track program's been off, and then all of our other good races that we've had good runs going, something's always happened. So really good to put this all together. We had a brand new partner, the Frozen Farmer. They're from 40 minutes down the road. The whole family's here. So it was a really great day for us. I felt like, you know, we had a car capable of winning, obviously getting off pit road, you know, at different times. My pit crew did a great job keeping us up front all day, and this feels good. Hopefully we can carry this momentum, you know, on, you know, the big tracks. The tracks we got coming forward are really good tracks for us. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of battling. You know, it's tough to pass, but it was fun running through lap traffic, and I really wish we had like a 70-lap run to end there. But all in all, our Kroger team's doing a great job, and looking forward to carry that momentum on.
Thanks, Ricky. Nice job.
Thanks, Regan. Chase Elliott will go off to celebrate, and Kyle Busch ends up with a 7th place finish on his birthday. Has to wonder what might have been, because that ill-timed caution for him when he was on pit road may well have cost him the victory.
Well, yeah, I would say Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman, they seem to have the two best cars, and we got to that point where we felt like everybody has to make a pit stop here because of the tire wear, but unfortunately they make their stop, their own pit road, the caution comes out.
Clint, Ross Chastain, Martin Truex came right down to the last lap after being together all day.
All day long they battled. Truex constantly was having to go through the one of Ross Chastain, passing him virtually every single run, and then ended up wrecked in the back wall at the end of the race. I promise you that cat is frustrated.
Jamie?
What a day again for Ross Chastain, ends up bringing it home third, but you could not shake the 19. What did you guys say to each other there?
We were talking about where we're going to go fishing next week. No, super proud of this effort. I mean, I thought we were a 5th place car, and a couple guys had misfortune with the caution coming out, and that cycled us to the lead. And pit crew was incredible today. They were just picking up spots every stop and got us to lead. And I'm racing with champions, and I got beat.
Mike?
Quite a day here in Dover. Darlington next week, and Race Hub tonight on FS1 at 6 p.m. Next Cup race, Darlington, race day, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then the throwback weekend. Tonight at FS1, NASCAR Race Hub. Hendrick Motorsports last year went 1 through 4 in Dover. They didn't today, but they got Chase Elliott the W. And now all 4 of Rick's drivers have won 11 races into the season. We'll see you in Darlington, folks.